was pretty good size for Kings on Friday. And then the game started to happen. And at first, it took a minute for the Kings kind of to get in it and to find their groove in that one. But once they did, it started to get really exciting. I mean, there was a lot going on in that game. And people, I think the energy, if you were in Golden One Center on Friday night, you felt it start to build. And by the time it was the second half, everybody was kind of like, okay, even if you are maybe a person who wants the tank to happen, which me being a media member and thinking long term and thinking you want the best for this franchise moving forward, I got sucked in the game. I was like excited. I was up and, screaming and yelling and did the clappers, when Zion was at the free throw line.
Oh, the thunder sticks?
The thunder sticks.
Oh, that's cool.
I was all in it with my nephews. And, they, of course, wanted to see a win. So being able to see that and get the beam lit there was pretty cool. And I do understand where people who are going to the games and are season ticket holders, I completely now more than ever understand where they're coming from too. Because you do get lost in the moment of, hey, this is fun, like especially a game like that. So it was exciting.
We got Kayla's first beam.
I know, baby. I'm excited.
I'm glad you got it at least once this year because, it is really cool. I know that the team has stunk this year and everyone's angry, but, it is really cool when they win and they do the light the beam and you walk out of, I don't know, most of the time it's the main entrance and it's,
it's
right there.
Yeah.
And if you leave at the right time, everyone has their phones out and everyone's trying to take the same picture. People are climbing on the weird statue and trying to take pictures.
That's exactly what it was, though. I felt so for me, because the angle's hard to get when you come right out, because obviously the Golden One Center kind of domes over it a little and then it peeks out. So I was trying to get slouched down so I could get a shot of it, and then I got a shot of it with my two nephews, Easton and Eli, they were so excited. It was also fun at the game watching, and we'll have a little segment on this later, who's the most entertaining NBA player, in the last 30 years or whatever. You can take it back to whenever, but Russell Westbrook is going to be on that list. And he's sitting out, but he was obviously very involved. And I watched him a lot during the game. And this guy is just so entertaining on his own to watch during a game. Whether he's playing or he's on the bench, he was getting up and talking to coaches, to refs, to players. At one point during the karaoke fan sing-along, he's with the security guards singing to Backstreet Boys. The guy had me rolling. Westbrook, you like him or not, he is so entertaining. We're always going to think of him in terms of the NBA and, kind of what he did on the court, but also off it.
Hold on. Did you just say Russell Westbrook was singing Backstreet Boys?
He absolutely was. And Whitney Houston.
So they did two karaokes?
They got in 3 songs in the karaoke part of it, which I was all about.
And Westbrook was jumping song to song?
Yep. Song to song, he was down. I have a video of the Backstreet Boys one.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, we got to see if we can find a way to show that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So that was fun. And my little nephew was he loves Westbrook, so he was all asking questions
I thought you were going to say your nephew loved Backstreet Boys. I was like, isn't he 10?
Hey, our songs are all coming back around. It's very weird when it comes to that. But Kyle, I mean, look, the weekend, whether you want the Kings to lose or you want them to win, the weekend was a split. And starting with Friday night, clearly we talked about it. It was the young guys who got it done. And I think that's what maybe makes it a little easier for us to swallow in terms of a win, because it wasn't really any of the veterans out there being able to get the win in the end against this Pelicans team that, by the way, kept on fighting. It was, again, a good game, but it was the young guys were not going to let them get away with a win that night. And I really just loved watching Nick Clifford play, Maxime Reynaud, Dylan Cardwell, who we'll get to in a minute, had a pretty good weekend overall. I think he's just getting back in the groove after his, injury that he had to endure. But what did you think of the play specifically from the young guys on Friday? Because I could, in a way, see a glimpse of the future.
Yeah, and for the people who do want the tanking results, I think those people are still hoping that the young players who have a chance to be good when they want to compete for a play-in or a playoff spot again, that those guys are showing signs of growth. And we've been here and talked about how, hey, sometimes it's the Kings win with DeMar scoring 40 points, or sometimes the Kings win with Westbrook putting up a triple-double, and that's nice, but we expect those players either won't be on the team next year or won't be on the team after 2027. So, it's harder for people to swallow those victories. But Friday, you've got 51 points between Maxime and Nick. But the bigger thing is Maxime has the second most shots on the team at 14, and Nick Clifford has the second most shots on the team at 16.
Exactly.
He takes 6 threes. Also, Daquan Plowden took 12 shots, which was the third most.
And he had a good weekend, too.
Yeah, and look, Daquan is fighting still for that roster spot next year, and I imagine he's probably going to have to go through the summer league and do the camp invite, and it might be him versus Killian Hayes competing for a roster spot. But Alan made the point on the afternoon show, like, his numbers look similar to what Keon Ellis was putting up when everyone fell in love with Keon Ellis, and that's very encouraging for a two-way player who's fighting for a roster spot. So all three of them, like, just the fact that the offensive hub was around them. We could throw Devin Carter in there, too. I know he's had a weird season, but when
he's in there, I mean, he tries to do as much as he can. Maybe sometimes he does too much because he is like, I think Alan has said this before, he's like Tasmanian devil sometimes.
But on a night like that where it's just him and
perfect.
Killian Hayes, just go for it, man.
Exactly.
So those three, and throw Devin Carter in, those four being the leading shot takers, facilitating the offense, and them beating a Pelicans team that, as we've talked about, they might stink, but they've got no incentive to tank. Mm-mm. Like, they don't get their draft pick this year. The fact that they beat that team with those young guys, I guess, is the quote-unquote perfect win for the tanking crowd.
Yep, and it's a hard one. So I want to get to where they sit in the standings right now and where they sit in Tankathon in just a minute. But I did want to go over again some of the numbers from this past weekend. So again, Maxime Reynaud played 29 minutes in that game on Friday, 28 points for him. Also, Nick Clifford that you mentioned, Nick played 39 minutes. He scored 23 points. And again, these are guys that are in their rookie season. Like, they're not used to a full season like this in the NBA. It's much different from the college basketball season. So what I like, too, is just when we feel like maybe they have some tired legs, they come back in a game like that against the Pelicans at home on a Friday night, and they're able to find enough left in them in terms of the season to go out there and put on a performance like that. DeMar DeRozan in this game on Friday, he played 23 minutes, just 14 points. But again, I think he's kind of just playing the role he needs to play at this point. But Kyle, interesting enough, last night in, let's just say, not as entertaining of a game. I know it was Sunday. Maybe we had full bellies from, Easter Sunday. I know I did. I ate way too many helpings of scalloped potatoes and ham. So I was a little drowsy.
Potatoes.
I was a little drowsy during the Kings game, but clearly not as good of a performance in that one. But DeMar DeRozan played in the first half, didn't play a ton of minutes, and then we really didn't see him in the second half of that game against the Clippers.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be a trend or just the fact that they were down 20 points at halftime. So I don't know exactly where DeMar is going with it. But
yeah, and I mean, you wonder because we've talked about Russell Westbrook, and he's probably going to be out the rest of the season. He's got an injured toe or foot or whatever the
toe
injury
joint
is.
irritation or whatever they're calling it.
It looks like he's probably done for the year. We've got 3 games remaining. I don't see him just popping back out there. My question is like, have we seen the last of DeMar, or do you think that we'll see him maybe in the first half of the game? Again, DeMar DeRozan last night just played 10 minutes, 9 points. You saw a lot more, again, from some of the young guys. And right now, it just kind of looks like they're wrapping up the season here as we have 3 games remaining, 2 against Golden State and 1 against Portland.
Yeah, I think we'll see him in probably a similar capacity to this. What's tough is that they were down so bad early on that I think they were like, well, what are we fighting for type of situation. And maybe that's why he got 0 in the second half. But if you told me he played 0 fourth quarter minutes in these final 3 games, I would say, yeah, that's something that they might consciously make the decision to do. And part of it is the tanking, and part of it is just it's been a long season. There's nothing to play for. And, I have loved DeMar DeRozan's time in Sacramento. The Kings have let DeMar DeRozan down in so many ways over his 2 years here. But if these are the last few games of DeMar DeRozan in Sacramento, I feel like he's done all that we can ask of him. And if the Kings want to sit him down, if he wants to play, honestly, he should just get to do whatever he wants with these last few games.
I agree, too. I mean, it's like, leave it in the hands of DeMar DeRozan. Let him decide. He's been an incredible vet for you. Being through a lot, I know they're here. They got to be a good teammate, but this season has been so up and down, and there's been so many questions about, certain things. I just think he and Westbrook have truly been pros through and through. So I would agree with you, Kyle. I'm like, let DeMar do what he wants to do. If he wants to play half the game, fine. If he doesn't want to play remainder of the games, which I don't see him doing, by the way, that's all right. But he broke another record this weekend, Kyle.
Yes, he passed Oscar Robertson, former Cincinnati Royal. Mm-hmm. Anyways, his jersey's retired at the Golden One Center.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oscar Robertson for 16th all-time on the scoring list, which I just looked it up. He beat him by 1 point, too.
Oh, really?
So in those 10 minutes, he got exactly the 9 points that he needed to pass Oscar Robertson. And just look at it here. It looks like he's like 300 points away from Akeem Olajuwon, so he's not going to pass anyone else this year. So maybe if this is DeMar's last show or last game and they do shut him down, at least they gave him the chance to pass Oscar Robertson on that scoring list while he's still in a Sacramento uniform. I mean, he should be on a team next year, even if it's not Sacramento. But he got to pass him this year instead of having to the first game of next year, he's going to pass him.
Look, and I know people have their thoughts on their, Westbrook and DeMar coming here and, how much did they really contribute? I think it's a bigger picture than that. Like, this team was just roster-wise not built the right way, and there was a lot of, people inheriting that, and that goes along with a guy like DeMar who was there and kind of inherited also the players around him in a way. So you can't really take anything away from them being able to go out there and break these records. I mean, if it was you, weren't you going to probably do that? If you were a player of that stature and you had a chance to break records, I sure would.
Well, at the very least,
they've contributed in other ways, Kyle. Like, they've contributed to these young guys. They've been mentors for them. I, again, in firsthand watched, during timeouts on Friday and watched both DeMar and Westbrook multiple times talk with Maxime Reno, talks with Dylan Cardwell during some of those timeouts.
Well, at the very least, even if I'm not wanting to break the record, quote unquote, or say I want to break the record, I don't not want to either. It's like, it's
like put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, it's like it'd be cool. I mean, come on, we're a 20-57 team.
Yep.
At the very least, I can score 8 points. And by the way, he only did it on 5 shots too. But it's like the very least I can get to 8 points and meet this next milestone. DeMar's also just different too, because when he was first brought in, he was the missing piece. It was he's going to help elevate them. They were saying they're nothing like us, and he showed up at the summer league, and everyone was excited. And obviously, they gave it 31 games and blew up the whole thing. But when DeMar first got here, there was so much promise and so much excitement, and now at the very end, where it feels like they're not playing for anything, but he gets to break records in a Kings uniform, and he's just done everything for the most part right in Sacramento too. It just makes you feel good that he did get it. Even if he wanted it or didn't want it, you just feel good that he got there.
Yeah, he's a pro through and through. But this is what I do believe some fans are frustrated with this morning. And I feel you guys. I understand this as well. Now, what I will say is karma is a you-know-what. And I feel like some of these teams that are purposely tanking, that have been purposely tanking, I feel like karma might come back around when it comes to this year's ping pong balls. That's all I'm saying. Just remember, if you're listening to it at 10:20 today, that I said that, okay? That I said that. But reality right now, Kyle, is that this team is in the 5th spot.
Well, they're technically tied for 4th.
They're technically tied for 4th.
But in the lottery, it's like they split the odds between the 4th and the 5th. So they're basically in the 5th spot.
In the 5th spot. So I know a lot of people are a little bit anxious about that because, again, now they have completely fallen out of those top 3 spots that give you a 14% chance at winning the lottery. But I feel like there is still an opportunity with 3 games left for some other things to happen. Brooklyn won over the weekend, but it didn't do much.
The Tank Bowl.
The Tank Bowl is officially on, but I do want to do a sim lottery here for
you
the
want
Tankathon. So
fire it up?
Let's fire this sucker up. Let's go, baby. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to start from 5. Y'all ready? At 5. We've got the Washington Wizards, who have clearly tried to tank.
Who won the Tank Bowl against the Nets this weekend, even though they didn't win, they lost.
Okay, so we've got the Pacers that fall to the 4 spot.
Okay, so they get to keep their pick.
They keep their pick.
Oh, man, Caleb Wilson on their team would be so good. I know,
would be really, really good. Memphis is up 4 spots. Poor Memphis, after taking a brutal hit from LeBron James over the past 3 days. I am telling you, that city is up in arms. Maybe that was a wrong choice of words, but they are mad right now when it comes to, thank you very much. They're mad when it comes to LeBron James and what he said. And look, I actually side with them. There's a lot of no-nonsense stuff that probably you could have just kept to yourself right now, kicking a city when they're down. But LeBron James saying it was pretty much the most hated city along with Milwaukee when it goes to NBA travel.
But hey, you get Darren Peterson to make it feel better.
Darren Peterson, there you go. At number 2, your Sacramento Kings. Let's go. Okay, are we happy, folks?
I mean, it's a lot better than falling to 6 or 7.
Exactly.
6,
7, and 13 spots. Up 13 spots.
13?
Orlando, that I believe has to give their pick
to Memphis. No, are you kidding?
No, I'm dead serious.
So in this one Tankathon sim, Memphis gets one.
They felt bad for Memphis over the weekend, and this is what the results are. They felt so bad for Memphis that they're like, here you go, Memphis.
Here's AJ DeBonsa and Darren Peterson.
That is hilarious. I need to take a picture of this, by the way.
Yeah,
and I'm going to send it to Memphis fans, just so that they can get a kick out of it.
Dan, Kayla, looks like you left Nashville a little too late. You could have had AJ DeBonsa and Darren Peterson in Nashville if LeBron had his way.
My goodness. But yeah, 2nd overall for Sacramento, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 2nd would be great, especially the way that the ping pong balls are breaking right now. We might go through it a little bit more later, but basically the Kings right now have like a 44% chance at a top 4 pick.
Okay.
But here's the weird thing about being 5 in the draft lottery. Your chances of staying at 5 are so low because the only way you can be 5 is if 1 through 4 all win the lottery. So being 5 stinks because, yes, you still have a chance to get 1 through 4, but your odds go way up that you're going to be 6, 7, or 8 in the 6, 7 in the lottery too. So hey, let's go Jazz for the next few days.
Yeah, exactly. I also wanted to give a big shout out to the Stockton Kings as they defeat the South Bay Lakers 101-97 to win the Western Conference Final. They now move on to the G League Finals, and that is going to be taking place in Greensboro, North Carolina. They're going to take on the Greensboro Swarm. That's going to be Wednesday at 4:30 Pacific time. Really proud of the Stockton Kings. Again, back-to-back Western Conference Final champions. Again, emphasizing that it's no small feat to have an organization as a feeder like Stockton right now and doing what they're doing. Daquan Jeffries led the way with 27 points. PBJ, that is Allen's guy. He had 14 points. Just a really awesome time for them and wishing them the best of luck when it comes to Wednesday's final with the Greensboro Swarm. All right, that is one segment down here on the Matt and Kayla Show. When we return, March Madness is truly that this year. Another big win for UConn and Arizona going down. What does that mean for this championship final coming up tonight? We'll also go over our March Madness last man standing teams. Let's just say we all didn't do very, very well. That and more coming up on the Matt and Kayla Show right here on Sactown Sports.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Reach label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Buying golf gear is easy. Buying the right golf gear? Well, that's different. At Hagen Oaks, they don't just sell equipment, they fit your entire game. With TrackMan technology in the Player Performance Studio, your clubs are matched to your swing. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball that performs best for you. Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio dials in your stroke, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds correct shoe size for your feet. It's a smarter way to play better golf. Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Typical tax-free edition only. Roughly 37% of filings qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. How this is taxes.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Switchfoot Live. Friday, April 24th, 7 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. With Fuel. And Lit. And Thomas Ian Nicholas. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. One incredible night with Switchfoot, Fuel, and Lit. Together live.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports. I love that music, and we're only going to be able to hear this music about one more time because we have reached the championship game. That is right. We've got Michigan and UConn tonight for the NCAA championship game, for all the marbles, for the trophy, forever being able to say you are a champion in terms of the NCAA tournament, which is always so incredibly tough. I don't think people realize how hard it is for teams to get to not only the Final Four, but the championship game and then to win it all. We've seen so many coaches try to do it, so many coaches have been successful at it. A lot of those coaches, have retired, and we've got a new crop of some of these guys. And Dan Hurley is definitely one of those guys who is starting to build his name, his brand. I know that there are tons of other schools that are interested in him, even the NBA. But let's start with a big weekend for the Final Four that is taking place in Indianapolis. So you had the Fighting Illini, who I think, being a 3 seed, they were not a surprise by any means, but I didn't have them going to the Final Four. Give them a lot of credit for the run that they were able to have. Keaton Wagler, obviously, Stojakovic, you guys very familiar with him right here in the Sacramento area. Heck of a run for those guys. They fall short to UConn, 71-62. And again, UConn, maybe not the most talent in this pool in terms of the NCAA tournament this year, but their coach has them ready and they play up to the moment, Kyle.
Illinois, in my entire lifetime, is not supposed to be good at basketball. I know with Darren Williams, they went to the Final Four and all that stuff, but Illinois is not supposed to be a basketball power. So the fact that they've been number 1 seeds the last few years with, was it Brad Underwood as the coach? Number 1 seeds, deep runs in the tournament. The fact that they finally got to the Final Four, I feel like is just good for that program, right? Because this wasn't like a Cinderella out of nowhere. Even though they were a 3 seed and no other 3 seeds made it, they had been number 1 seeds before. They had been in Sweet 16s and Elite 8s, and they just kind of finally broke through. Also, I didn't even know they have twin brothers that are on the team together. I didn't know that at all until Saturday, so that's also cool.
Yeah, that was fun. I'll say this, Kyle. My memory, and there's a difference in our ages. Not going to give away my age.
I mean, it's only 5 years.
Of course, just 5 years. I will say this. Growing up, I remember Illinois basketball because of a player by the name of D. Brown. And D. Brown was so fun to watch at the college level. And he forever, for me, reminds me of the Illini and those good days in terms of basketball. And so it is funny seeing that emblem now and reminding ourselves that this is years later and they are relevant in basketball again. So it's fun to see for that program. But UConn coming out victorious, so they are going to be headed to the national championship today in Indianapolis. In the other game, though, Kyle, that happened on Saturday, it was Michigan and Arizona. And I'll be the first to admit, I truly thought it was Arizona's year. Tommy Lloyd has done an incredible job. Mark Few disciple, obviously, up there in Spokane, Washington, my hometown, in Gonzaga, and learning under Mark. And Mark's come close to winning it all and has not been able to do it. But now Tommy down there, being able to continue Arizona's tradition and being able to get them back to the Final Four, but just not being able to get over the hump. And give Michigan a lot of credit. That team is stacked.
I was not a believer in Michigan going into the tournament. As someone who watched no college basketball this year, I was like, Iowa State's got this, baby. And Michigan has just dominated everyone. Mm-hmm. Start to finish, Michigan is just beating the brakes off of teams, which tells me they should probably be favored in the championship game tonight. But again, that's not how college basketball works.
No.
There's so many strange things. And for your beautiful Arizona Wildcats, it's just another year of expectations coming short.
Yeah, not being able to get it done. And I know that, alumni like Steve Kerr, who went to Arizona, and clearly, they've won a championship, and it's been years and years and years. The biggest thing with fans like Arizona fans who are dying for that, they just want to get that checked off the list. But again, I go back to how hard it is to win a championship in March Madness, because it's any team on any given night. And that's why UConn's Dan Hurley right now he spoke, before tonight's game and said it just takes one game, for us to be able to win it all. And that will be tonight, obviously, against Michigan. But Arizona was wiped out. The score was 91-73.
I didn't
thought
feel
that was going to be like the national championship game feel in a way, but by no means was it.
This Michigan team is so good, and I cannot emphasize enough, because I feel like, yes, they were a number 1 seed, but they were kind of like but they'll probably lose early in the tournament type of team. And look, March Madness is traditionally filled with chaos moments like UConn beating Duke and stuff like that. But a lot of the times the team that wins the championship does go on this run where they win by like 15 points every game in the tournament. A couple years ago, I remember, or I guess now 3 years ago, when San Diego State, where I grew up, went to the championship game.
That was a good run.
Oh, it was the run of a lifetime. I mean, that program should, anyways. When they went to the championship run, they faced UConn, and I think UConn was even like a 4 seed that year, but it was like every single game UConn won by like 15 points. Mm-hmm. And then the next year, every single game UConn won by 10 or 15 points. And Michigan has been that team so far in the tournament, which tells me they should be the team that wins the championship.
I think they will be. I took Michigan in my ESPN bracket. I did not take them in Jason Ross's huge bracket that has, I think, over like 200 people this year. I don't know where I fell to. I actually need to look at that.
You were doing good, though.
I know I was. I started off hot, and now I've just completely crumbled. But in my ESPN bracket, I do still have Michigan. When I watched them play Gonzaga earlier this season, and they completely ran them out of the gym, I was in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, ooh, Michigan could definitely win it all this year. And here they sit, and it'll be a fun game tonight. I just hope it's a good game. I don't want a blowout in any means in terms of the championship game, because that just makes it boring, and we all want a good one tonight. As for our March Madness last man standing teams, Matt's not here, but we're going to read over our records because let's just say this, Kyle. We did not fare very well. And I do see this note in the rundown that says technically Kayla wins because Arizona lasted 3 hours longer than Illinois. That's where we're at. That's how bad we did in terms of the last man standing.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
Like
not one of us picked the correct team.
We picked the only 1 seeds and 2 seeds that didn't get to the championship.
Exactly. Because Matt's teams, he had Duke, BYU, Illinois, which again, Illinois, Matt and I were neck and neck in that final stretch of things, and Vandy. Those were his teams. My teams, Arizona, that just got eliminated, Arkansas, Michigan State, and Houston. And you, Kyle, had Gonzaga, go Zags, Iowa State, Kansas, and Florida.
Yeah, I was out for a while.
Yeah, you were out for a bit. But again,
I think I lost in the Sweet 16. That's crazy.
Yeah, because you had the Zags and you had Florida who got upset. Kansas did not have a good run. They got upset early. Iowa State, I think, was your longest running team.
Yeah, and they lost to Tennessee.
That's wild. So yeah, we did not
fare.
So I was
garbage.
We did not fare very well, but I will take the victory, even if it's by 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like technically you won because Arizona was the second game and Illinois was the first game. So you were the last team standing with your wonderful Arizona Wildcats who you used to cover.
Yep.
But I feel like it should be a tie. But technically you were the last team standing.
That's fine. We'll take the tie too.
Over competitive Kayla doesn't want to say.
I'm just waiting till our segment later in the show, our mini baseball season records, because I'm interested to see what happens with this, because I do believe I won 2 games this weekend. So we're just going to make sure I get the victory for that.
There's controversy. Shockingly, there are more rules that need to be established in this game.
Kayla's going to make the rule on that today. I'm going to get the victory on that. That's all I'll have to say about that. Meanwhile, the UCLA women, what a big weekend for them. Jason Ross's UCLA Lady Bruins. They top the South Carolina Gamecocks in the national championship game to win it all. This is coming after, which we will dig a little bit deeper into this later in the show. Dawn Staley, Gino Auriemma. Why can't I never say his name?
It's a weird one. Auriemma.
Excuse me. Gino Auriemma and Dawn Staley had a big blow up at the end of their game in the Final Four. We'll talk about it all a little bit later. I feel like most people are on Dawn's side when it comes to this, but it's been a long-standing feud, and it's not over yet. But let's give UCLA credit where credit is due. I feel like that, in a way, overtook the main storyline of all this, and that's the Bruins winning a national championship. South Carolina was the favorites in that game, but a really, really big game for Corey Close, who I know has worked hard to get to this pinnacle of her career, and she's awarded with the trophy.
Yeah, and like I know it's like, oh, UCLA won the championship, all that stuff, but like UCLA is not a big athletic department anymore.
Well, they actually filed for bankruptcy when they left the Pac-12, guys.
Exactly. Like UCLA men don't have the budget they used to. This UCLA women's team is not a storied program. This is a team that had never been to the championship game before. They went to the Final Four last year, but they did it with like 8 seniors, like 5 of whom had been there their entire time.
Yeah.
Like in the transfer portal era of college sports, it was Lauren Betts there the whole time. It was Gabriela Jaquez and a bunch of seniors, and the experience ended up leading the day for them.
And that's kind of what we're seeing now in college basketball with the change of times. Those older rosters sometimes are the ones that can get you to the championship and to hoist the trophy. So congrats to the UCLA Bruins, 79-51 over South Carolina to win the national championship. The big championship for the men tonight between Michigan and UConn. Coming up on the Matt and Kayla Show, it is my Q&K. We're going to have a little fun with this one. You guys can participate if you're in the YouTube chat or the text line, because we have a very big golf tournament that's coming up this weekend in Augusta, Georgia. We'll get to that, my Q&K, and more. That's all next on Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com, driving business forward.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're serious about getting better at golf, start with the fit. At Hagen Oaks, everything begins with total game fitting. The TrackMan Player Performance Studio analyzes your swing to match you with the right clubs. Bing's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball for your game. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And with FootJoy's 3D foot scanner, you'll walk the course in shoes that actually fit. From driver to putter and even what's on your feet, Hagen Oaks fits every part of your game. Total game fitting, only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Inova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
It's
time for Q&K. Kayla's got questions, we've got answers. It's Q&K on Matt and Kayla.
Welcome back into the Matt and Kayla Show. Kayla Anderson, Kyle Ledbetter in here today. Matt will be back tomorrow. So, we have got Q&K. You know the song or the tune, whatever you want to call it. It's Q&K time. It is a Monday. It's the beat. So this will be a fun one because I was like, maybe I'll do some serious topic. I know there's a lot going on right now in terms of college basketball. There's been some heavy conversation, and maybe we can get to some of that tomorrow with Jay Billis and Coach Calipari. Like there's some conversation going on.
Ooh, I have not heard about this at all.
We might talk about that tomorrow and do some digging on that. But I wanted to keep it light on a Monday. I wanted to bring in some feel-good stuff. So the Masters tournament is happening this weekend in Augusta, Georgia. And I have covered the Masters living in the South. Now, I have not been there, but I have people who have been there. And it is a beautiful course, and it is immaculate, and watching it on TV, sometimes you do feel like it's like AI because everything is so pristine and perfect. But what's great about it, and what I will give credit to the Masters for, is the prices when it comes to their food. Because everything nowadays is way overpriced. Let's just all admit it. Like, how much does it take you to get to work in the morning? I can't even tell you because it's just ridiculous and it makes me mad talking about it.
Yeah, you have like a 40-minute commute every day.
It's a lot. So I think what's great about sports nowadays is if they can actually keep the concessions a little lower, ticket prices a little lower. It's very hard to get into the Masters. You have to be on a wait list. But when you do get in, the prices are very fair. So today, we're going to play a little Q&K game called Guess the Augusta National Menu Price.
Oh, I love this.
Yes. So this will be a fun little thing that you can get in on if you're in the YouTube chat, text line, play along with us. Maybe you've been to the Masters and you know the price. It's pretty incredible. So let's start with the sandwiches. And give me a price for an egg salad sandwich at the Masters. What do you think an egg salad sandwich is running for? By the way, I used to not like egg salad sandwiches. I grew a liking for them as I got older. I would love to have an egg salad sandwich at the Masters.
I can't remember the last time I had an egg salad sandwich.
It's like a kid's thing, I feel like.
Yeah, because I feel like egg salad's just easy to make, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
just hard boil some eggs and mash them up, put whatever you want in with it.
Yeah. Well, I know the Masters prices are a little bit lower, so I'll say like $8 maybe.
Okay. All right. $8 is what Kyle is guessing on an egg salad sandwich. How about a whopping $1.50?
What?
Yeah.
No. $1.50?
$1.50.
That can't be real. You can't buy a candy bar for $1.50 today.
So the Masters, I'm gonna bring up two of the menus. So yeah. So the Masters menu is selling egg salad sandwiches for $1.50.
Oh boy! So I've got $1.50 out of my pocket. Let's say I've got $20. What else can I buy?
Yeah, people are gonna leave here and they're gonna be good to eat for a week and a weekend. Like,
hold on. I don't know what the rules are on that. Are you allowed to like just buy mass product from the Masters and take it out?
That's a great question.
Are you just stuffing pimento cheese in your backpack?
You can actually order, and I have done this before. You can order the Masters cooler, and it comes with all of this stuff that you can buy at the Masters. It's pretty cool. I've done that before. And so I've had the pimento cheese, which is next on the list. This is famous at Augusta National. The pimento cheese sandwich. What is it going for?
You know, this year it's going to be unfortunate because Dave has made pimento cheese and brought it in for Masters Week before.
Wait, is he not making it this year?
Well, he's in Europe or wherever, so he's not going to be here.
Oh, I thought he was going to be back in time. Oh, shoot.
No, I don't think so. Maybe we could ask him next Monday to make it anyways.
I could go for some pimento cheese for sure.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It's the first time I'd ever had it. Well, I mean, if the egg salad sandwich is $1.50, it's got to be like $5 maybe.
Okay.
It is a classic. You know?
It's $1.50.
Shut
Let's
up.
go. Look at Augusta.
There's no way.
Augusta is just like mind-boggling Kyle right now. Kyle is just, he can't understand how it's this cheap.
So for $3, I can get 2 sandwiches.
Correct. That is absolutely true.
This is ridiculous.
And this is, the thing about this too is it's every year. They don't really bring the prices up.
It's the Costco hot dog of the sports world.
But it's pretty good too. That's the thing. The biggest thing on the sandwich list, Kyle, in terms of price, so the most expensive price on that sandwich list is the chicken salad on honey wheat. That goes for $3. The Masters Club also goes for $3, and the ham and cheese on rye. So that's the highest amount on the sandwich.
Wow, ham prices must be high if they're going $3 for that, but a pimento cheese is $1.50.
Yeah, so that's what we got on that. So my next question for you, so in the snacks department, I'll give you this question. There is one thing that goes for $3, which is the most expensive. Between all of this, which one is it? The chocolate chunk cookie, oatmeal raisin cookie, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, or Georgia peach ice cream sandwich?
Oh, that's a great question.
The highest price on that list is $3 out of any of those. What would you choose?
I am going to guess ice cream sandwich, but I'm only doing this based on my understanding of ballpark food.
Ding, 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 ding. You are right.
Okay.
The Georgia peach ice cream sandwich is going for $3. That's the most expensive snacks and miscellaneous, although Advil is on there for 75 cents. Because you always need a little Advil.
Is it a single pill? How much are you getting?
I know, right? I think Advil usually in those packets, there's 2.
Oh, okay.
Because I just had one the other night.
So you get 2 for 75 cents.
Exactly. So
wow.
That's what's going on. And then drinks, like, it's crazy to think that drinks are even more expensive than a sandwich. Like a bottle of water is going to cost you $2, bottle of lemonade, $2, but everything's $2 when it comes to the actual beverages. Just again, nuts to know that like it's one of the most prestigious tournaments, but you can buy food for nothing.
So this is a really interesting part of sports culture that I feel like we've kind of gotten away from. Is like back in the day when I get the Masters is something different, but like when a sports team was bought for, the Kings in 1985 were bought for $10 million, which is a lot of money, but it's different than $5 billion, which is what these teams cost today. Like back then you could afford to buy a sports team and have it be like disposable income of sorts. Like you weren't intently trying to make a profit off of these sports teams. But now it's like we've just come to expect that things are going to cost a certain thing or that the price of entry is going to have to be a certain amount just because all of these sports franchises are trying to make money to justify these high valuations and stuff like that. I know the Suns owner said we're just going to drop all the concession prices.
Like their prices are crazy.
Yeah, they're
in a good way.
Yeah, no, they've dropped all the prices for the Sun and the Mercury games. Yeah. Like it is really I mean it's similar to the Masters. I don't know the exact numbers, but like we just don't expect things like that anymore. It's like a novelty now versus like back in the day it was probably a more normal thing.
Yeah, it's cool though. I will give them credit for that. Speaking of the Masters itself, I know there's a lot of pools that people do on Masters weekend. Clearly, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson will not be there for the first time, I think, since 1994 that either one will not be there. So that will be interesting for a little bit of a reason. But I think Scottie Scheffler, you always have to be on the lookout for Scheffler. Like, he is obviously known for, was it the whole incident where he got arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was all.
Is that the U.S. Open?
That was a U.S. Open, I think. Like Scheffler, though, has really been the most dominant golfer recently on tour. Rory McIlroy is the defending champion. He's going to throw his big, expensive dinner that will happen this week. I heard it's like the most expensive dinner because the defending champ gets to pick what they put on the menu.
Uh-huh.
And I've heard his is like up there as one of the most expensive ones, most lavish champion dinners.
By the way, if we're doing Masters pools, just pick Rory to not make the cut. Like, he is just going to show up and just be like, what's up, everybody?
He's like, I got my green jacket. But Scottie Scheffler would be tied for the 4th most Masters wins behind only Tiger, Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer. So that within its own right is impressive. Jack Nicklaus, of course, one of the GOATs, had the privilege of covering his tournament in Columbus, Ohio, the Memorial. He is just one of the greatest, not only golfers, but people, him and his wife, Barbara. He has 6 total, Tiger Woods with 5, and Arnold Palmer with 4. So that'd be a huge feat for Scottie Scheffler. I would put him right at the top of my pool if I were going into this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty's the new age best. He is the best golfer of the 2020s, but that kind of takes on a different tone, I feel like, because he's not this massive star like Tiger or Phil was.
He doesn't exude, and I'm not trying to say this the wrong way, but he doesn't exude that male dominance kind of I'm here and I'm going to intimidate everybody. I think that's what Tiger really did, and what was tough for so many of these golfers who played against Tiger. They pretty much said Tiger just had this aura about him, but Scottie gets it done, and you can't take anything away from that.
Also, Scotty's got a little bit of that Mike Trout in him, where he just he goes, he golfs, and then he disappears.
Just had a second kid, so maybe he's got that new dad power again. We'll see how he does this weekend in the Masters. Of course, we'll keep everybody posted as that starts up on Thursday. Coming up on the Matt and Kayla Show, we get into some of the results over the weekend in the NBA. Maybe we'll do another Tankathon. We'll see what's happening with that. Also, the most entertaining players in the NBA. I thought this would be fun to do after this weekend, seeing Russell Westbrook on the sideline and entertaining Kings fans, as he always does. That and more coming up here on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Your business moves fast. Your bank should keep up. At Valley Strong Credit Union, business banking is built for momentum with tools that help you manage cash flow, streamline payments, and fuel growth. Right now, there's never been a better time to switch. Open a new Valley Strong business account and get 3 months of business banking products and services free, up to $750 in value to power your next big move. Because when your business runs stronger, the whole Valley does too. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your business, grow your future at valleystrong.com/business.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports. It is the 11 o'clock hour. If you're just joining us at the top of the hour, Kayla Anderson, Kyle Ledbetter, Matt George out for the day. He'll be back tomorrow. And we've talked a little bit about Kings. We've talked a little college basketball. And speaking of college basketball, this just coming down, some breaking news.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports Breaking News.
That is right. North Carolina intends to hire longtime NBA coach Michael Malone as the school's next basketball coach. Of course, NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets in 2023. He has won 510 games as an NBA head coach, and now he is going to take on a program after Hubert Davis was relieved of his duties after the tournament, a program that I still believe is truly one of the best programs, is a blue blood program. And now we are going to have a former NBA coach that is going to try to bring them back to relevancy. And I know there are some ties here to the Sacramento area. And Kyle, when you came in here and was like, hey, did you just see the breaking news? We clearly had a conversation just recently with our new program director, Richie, who comes from the Denver area. It's so funny how small of a world it is in the world of basketball.
Yeah, and Michael Malone was obviously the champion coach of the Denver Nuggets, a legend there, and could have been that maybe for the Sacramento Kings once upon a time.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
So yeah, I mean, great for Michael Malone. I was starting to think he probably wasn't going to get another NBA job.
Because he was doing NBA Live. He was doing TV on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, for how long? Because you know that this is a guy who has had success in his career. And look, he stayed in Denver for a long time. So it's not like this was somebody who had lost his job because of what he was not able to produce. We know that it was very sticky in terms of management there and everything that came in terms of the top of the Nuggets organization. But yeah, I think it was only a matter of time. But I'm curious, is like, what is the thought process going back to college? Like, we've seen Billy Donovan, who was with Florida and brought them to a national championship that then goes to the Bulls. We thought maybe Billy Donovan would come back to the college game and take over for UNC. But obviously, Mike Malone's going to do that and make the pivot. What do you think about that, and how do you think he'll fare?
You know, it's really interesting because unlike Billy Donovan, he doesn't have any college coaching experience. Like, he worked a couple of assistant jobs like in his early career, but since like 2000, he hasn't been in college basketball. So I feel like that's a really interesting pivot. The North Carolina athletic department is really fascinating right now because, like, they went out and got Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Michael Lombardi is a GM at a college level and one of the most well-known NFL GMs in college.
Yeah, and people don't seem to like him very much at North Carolina. So, like, I don't know exactly what their plan is, and I don't know if it's a good hire or a bad hire, but the process itself is just so interesting because, like, we don't have the sound, but Kenny Smith was talking about North Carolina letting go of Hubert on TV.
Yep.
And he made this great point that it's like, it's not just letting go of Hubert, you're letting go of all the assistant coaches who have ties to all of the eras. Like, there's some who coached with Dean Smith, there's some who coached with Roy Williams, there's some who were players with Roy Williams. Hubert Davis himself was a player back, I can't remember if it was Dean Smith or Roy Williams, but he was a player back in North Carolina's day and age. And by hiring someone who has no college experience, no background with North Carolina, you are essentially restarting that process by bringing in an outsider who kind of has their own vision for it. And I don't know if that's better or worse for North Carolina, but they made the call. They didn't like the old way of doing things, despite the fact Hubert Davis wasn't like terrible as the coach.
I think they just were getting stagnant in terms of like getting over the hump in the tournament. Like they're a blue blood program. They obviously get some great recruits in there, i.e., this year Caleb Wilson, and they need to make more of a statement. And I feel like the more that they were just stagnant, they were going to be falling behind a rival like Duke. And look, Duke has fallen short too in terms of the tournament recently. But they're still head-to-head. Duke's kind of winning that battle. And YouTube chat's getting involved in this one. And I know some people thinking that he is going to be a great recruiter in terms of, getting those kids in, the NIL deals, and others that think, no, I don't think he'll be that good. And that's the biggest question for pro coaches like him, like Michael Malone, now to be taking a college job on like this. You almost have to have a general manager lined up and ready to go to deal with all of that stuff, because what you want to do coming into a program like UNC and the expectations that are going to be set for you is you want to go in and you just want to coach. You don't want to have to worry about being out on the recruiting trail, doing everything exactly right. Like, yeah, you're still going to be out on the recruiting trail, but you want to have all the NIL stuff taken care of. You want to have a good staff around you to take care of those in-house visits that still go on when recruiting kids.
Yeah, and I know that it's not the same job as it was 10 years ago either. Like, as long as the checks are clearing, some of that stuff will take care of itself. But, like, I feel like why I have apprehension about this is, like, it feels like a similar thought process that led to Bill Belichick ending up at North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And that so far seems like a disaster of a hire by North Carolina. They went 4-8 last year. The Jordan Hudson stuff was in the news for like a week. Jordan, as we used to call her on the show. Jordan was in the news every other day. Lombardi was like sending letters to donors being like, stick with us. It's going to be a process. Like, everything seemed like a disaster at North Carolina with football. And it feels like they've almost like doubled down in bringing in a NBA established coach, someone who, for whatever the reasons, it looks like the NBA has kind of said no one really wants to hire him as their head coach. So I don't know if that's the best strat. Maybe that's why I'm having apprehensions.
So what do you think the big reasoning for Michael Malone just not wanting, organizations not wanting him to be around?
That's a great question.
Right? Because, I mean, he's won.
He has. He's had tremendous success. And it's not like, oh, he was the coach that inherited LeBron James. It's like, no. He developed Jokic.
Exactly.
Like him and our friend Jordy Fernandez and David Adelman, son of Rick Adelman, like those guys in Denver developed Jokic into this one-of-a-kind point center from the 41st pick in the draft. Like, they did really good work in coaching. And I'm just left to assume that a lot of it had to do with how things ended in Denver. Michael Malone is one of those coaches that has a reputation for being a bit of a jerk.
Yep.
And again, works for some people, doesn't work for others.
But we're talking about Dan Hurley right now.
Exactly.
And Dan Hurley is in a national championship game again. And he's won championships at UConn. And he has that type of personality. I wonder if UNC almost looks at Dan Hurley and looks at a guy like Michael Malone and is like, oh, maybe that could work for getting our program back on track, getting these players that come here to buy into that type of a coach. And maybe that's the thought process behind it as well.
I think that's part of it for North Carolina, but it also puzzles me, like, no NBA team wants this guy, or he was, I guess the bigger thing is he's reading the tea leaves of the coaching hiring cycle this year and saying, like, my name isn't really coming up all that much in any of these coaching searches. Like, he wanted the Knicks job last year, and the Knicks were like, we're good. We're going to go with Mike Brown. Well, we're going to try and poach other teams' coaches, but then we're going to ultimately go with Mike Brown. So, like, either he passed on a future NBA job that probably would have been more of a rebuilding gig, Or he essentially said, I don't think the NBA is going to hire me as a head coach.
This is so funny. So I'm reading an article right now. Again, if you're just joining us, Michael Malone, breaking news, has accepted a job, according to sources, at the University of North Carolina to be the next.
No class, no balls.
Their next head coach. Look, I kind of like that in terms of, being a little edgy, having that kind of swag about you.
No class, no balls.
Which that famous quote is from when Mike Brown got fired by the Kings, that he's talking about the
was
Kings.
It really?
Yes, it's him talking about the Kings organization.
No class, no balls.
Dang! But here's some fans chiming in about the UNC hire. These are UNC fans. Absolutely stunned. In no world did I see this coming, one fan added. Would have guessed maybe 1,000 people before Michael Malone. This fan said, great hire. Another fan, stunning, no experience in the NIL college era. Good coach, though, will be interesting. And then another UNC fan chiming in. It'll be pretty fascinating to see how Malone works at the college basketball level. Clearly, he can coach. So what is always fascinating to me, Kyle, is when coaches go from one level to another. So either that's a guy like Nick Saban, who was at LSU and found success and then decided, I'm going to go take my talents to the NFL and to the Miami Dolphins. And it was a complete and utter fail for Nick Saban, who is clearly thought of as one of the greatest, if not the greatest coaches of all time in college or football. But the minute he went to the pros, it was a different thing for him and it didn't work for him. And then he went back to the college level and he won more championships. It's always interesting for me when it's the other way around. Like when when a pro coach goes to, in essential words, the minors or goes to college, if that is more difficult or easier.
I'm trying to think of notable examples.
I was too.
Because Mike Woodson, who's the lead assistant with the Sacramento Kings right now, Woody had coached the Lakers and the Knicks, and he went back to Indiana, and he was there for 4 or 5 years, and there was not a lot of success. And again, college basketball kind of gives you more runway than college football does in terms of how long you have to build a program. But that's a relatively short amount of time to get fired in college basketball sense. So you don't see we're seeing NBA assistants get their first jobs in college now, whether it's BYU, I can't remember, Kevin Young, our guy Luke Laux went to Florida State last year. You're seeing younger guys take that job, but the established coach that makes that jump with no college experience, I don't know if we've really seen it in this NIL era.
Yeah, I don't either. And it's hard because I think mostly, again, me being in the football realm of things for the past 10 years, I've seen it in the football landscape. And the one that comes to mind in terms of going, again, from college to pro is Pete Carroll. So it's very hard to do from that level. But I don't know. I think he could be successful at it. But I think that the biggest thing for me is he's got to have everything lined up. And North Carolina has clearly made it possible with Bill Belichick, but Belichick has not really taken advantage, or maybe he's figuring out it might not be the right fit, but it's kind of fascinating. Now you've got a pro football coach that went to North Carolina and did college. Now you're going to have a pro NBA coach who's going down to the college ranks. What if both fail? Then it's dang, UNC, you took a big L.
No, at North Carolina,
took a big old L.
Oh, this would be catastrophic for their athletic department.
I'm just thinking about that, taking pro coaches and bringing it down and being okay, is this going to work?
It was 4 years ago that Hubert took them to the national championship game, and they got, I think, what will be for the rest of the time the biggest win in the history of that program, which was beating Duke in Coach K's last game in the Final Four. Nothing will ever be better than that for North Carolina.
And YouTube chat coming to the rescue. You can always get involved on our chat. We've got some great listeners in there and viewers, Marcus and Michael. Of course, guys. Yes, Jim Harbaugh, obviously a Michigan coach. Before that was with the Niners, went to Michigan, now is back with LA in a pro job. And we'll see how it all works out for Jim coming back to the NFL. But yes, that's a perfect example of a coach that is a bit of a rarity to be able to do it on both levels.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because like there's a few flameouts, right? You've got your Cliff Kingsbury, who's still in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a big flameout.
You got your Matt Rule, who is obviously now back in college.
Yep, tried it with Carolina, did not necessarily work at all.
Yeah, Urban Meyer.
Yes, that was a disaster. I was in Tennessee while covering those years when he was there. You talk about one of the most biggest disasters. And then I covered Urban Meyer at Ohio State. So that firsthand was like, oh gosh, this is not going to work.
I mean, that genuinely like ruined his reputation. I mean, his reputation was pretty bad before, but like genuinely that failure is like ruining his. It's like Bobby Petrino on the Falcons level of ruining his reputation at the end.
No, that's a great comparison.
Yeah, and so like we have the notable examples of it not working in that direction, but you don't see the NFL guys jumping back to college unless it's like an assistant going to take their first college job or something like that. It's not it's Jim Harbaugh, it's Pete Carroll, there's and Pete Carroll wasn't like this great NFL coach either. So like there's not a lot of
I mean, he won a Super Bowl.
No, but I mean like before when he got to USC.
When he got to USC.
Yeah, sorry. When he got to USC, he was a Patriots coach that kind of did whatever. So
it'll be interesting. Yeah, right? So that is the biggest news when it comes to Michael Malone. Breaking news at the top of this hour. Perfect timing as he is taking the job at North Carolina, replacing Hubert Davis, who was let go after their short March Madness run.
No class, no balls.
That's so funny. I know we had it in the YouTube chat too. One of our listeners.
Just saying no class, no balls.
Yep.
No class, no balls.
It's really like the story of Michael Malone with the Kings is crazy. By the way, this is just a fun story.
Yeah.
But once upon a time, like Michael Malone would call into the station.
Wait,
I think it was
what?
It was I've heard this story before. I think it was like one of Deuce and Mo had a show and they were close with Michael Malone and he like called into the show once upon a time.
I think someone did tell me this story. Was it when they had like their last day or something and he called in to
I can't remember what it was, but like Michael Malone was in an alternate universe. Michael Malone is the coach that brings the Kings back to the playoffs, that ends the playoff drought. And in just that general way, I just hope he does well because he seems like a very nice man. Apparently he's a jerk sometimes as a coach, but I've heard him talk on TV over the last year and he just seems like a kind person.
Some of the best coaches though have that persona, like when it comes to what you see on the court. And then off the court, like John Tortorella, he's a NHL coach that just got the job in Vegas, right?
He's kind of a crazy guy, yeah.
So I covered him in Columbus. He is to this day, one of the people I can call on and be like, hey, coach, can you give me a reference? Like what you see in front of the media and on the bench sometimes is not exactly what they are off of the ice or off of the hardwood or off of the football field. That was my always example because he comes across as this crazy man in terms of the media, but he is really beloved by people that have actually covered him. So that's a prime example of just that.
And obviously I wasn't working around here when Michael Malone was the coach, but everyone just has good things to say about Michael Malone. And he's also the one guy who like has disdain for the Kings. He's the one guy who can get away with saying
no class, no balls.
And Kings fans are like, Michael Malone.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
Yeah, well, it's not some grand insult of the Kings. They're like, you're right, Michael Malone. You did get done dirty.
Well, wishing him the best. They're at North Carolina. Fun stuff there. I did want to get to this. Again, we're having a little bit of fun here on this Monday. I feel like everybody's kind of riding a good high from this weekend. We had tons of sports going on right here in the Sacramento area. It was really, really fun with the A's playing this weekend and the Kings playing this weekend. And so just a good vibe on this Monday morning. And that brings me to a fun little thing that I saw on social media. And one of the accounts, I can't remember exactly who it was, but listed the most entertaining NBA players. Now, again, this is your opinion. Like, you don't have to have them in this order, but I think this would be fun just to talk about really quick and to see where you guys would put them if you're in the YouTube chat and you're chiming along or you want to call in and give your thoughts on it. So most entertaining NBA players. Let me do the top. Let's run through the top 10. once we get to 5, I'll kind of let you guess who was at that spot. So at 10, we come in with the guy who thinks the world is flat. Goes by the name of Kyrie Irving. Yes. Coming in at 10.
Okay. I'm curious to see who else is on this list.
Okay.
If Kyrie is 10, because like in my lifetime, Kyrie's like one of the most exciting players ever.
Sure. And I covered him for a short time during their run, obviously, in Cleveland. And he was...
Cleveland!
But you know who was more entertaining during that series than anyone?
J.R. Smith?
J.R. Smith, baby!
You know... We could do a whole segment on J.R. Smith, man. Because that was back when he was like taking his shirt off and doing stuff like that.
Yep.
But we don't talk enough about how he ran out the clock in the end of an NBA Finals
believe
game.
me, that whole thing was insane when we had to speak about that. I mean, it was like, because people love J.R. Smith up there, or, you know, at the time, obviously loved him.
Champion, yeah.
But then again, you have that situation happen. It's like, bro, what?
It's one of the most iconic moments in NBA history.
It really is.
Not for good J.R. Smith reasons.
I know, but he's probably one of the only ones that could get away with it slightly even. So
no, the fact that it was him is part of what makes it so great.
Exactly. Coming in at 9 on this list is Tracy McGrady. At 8, we have Dominique Wilkins. At 7, little surprise with this one, Magic Johnson, which I feel like I know it's long time ago, right? And we're getting kind of past this time where we talk about these figures as much. But, I mean, he has whole documentaries about him. He has a TV show about him. Like, Magic Johnson is one of those guys.
I've seen the highlights, but I feel like I got to trust the old heads when they tell me how special Magic Johnson was.
Yeah.
Because, like, my dad grew up rooting for the Lakers in the 80s.
The Lake Show.
Yeah. Like, he would always say, like, yeah, Magic Johnson was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, he just had a big personality to come around with that. Coming in at 6, Mr. Vince Carter.
Okay. I guess there's no standard to entertaining, but like Vince Carter over Magic Johnson is interesting.
Is a little bit interesting. Okay, so who do you think coming in at 5 is? We're going to do the top 5. Curious as to what you think top 5 is. Let's start with 5.
Okay. Well, I know we haven't said Allen Iverson, so he's probably going to be on there somewhere. I know the player that's prompting this conversation, so I won't spoil that. Is Steph Curry on there?
Yes, Steph Curry is on this list.
Is he number 5?
No, he is not.
Okay.
No, he is not.
Is it Allen Iverson?
Ooh, very nice,
I
Kyle.
got it. Oh, nice.
Ding, 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 ding. We've got AI coming in at 5. I think he's a top 5 too.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the most entertaining and iconic. We think of AI, we think of the headband. You know, AI is just somebody, even, you know, my age or your age, you say his name and you know what he is and what he was as a player.
Yeah, that's fair. So
4, we got number 4.
I know Steph, you just said, is on there somewhere.
He is on this list, yes.
I know, I mean, I guess I don't want to spoil it, but I know there's another player on there.
Think greats.
Oh, greats?
Yeah.
Kobe on there?
No, Kobe is not on.
Not Kobe?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, Michael Jordan.
Yes, Michael Jordan comes in at the 4 spot, which I think, like, again, you're talking about a player that played a long time ago at this point. But Michael is still being talked about to this day, and the highlights you see and kind of like who Michael was on the court and off the court, how he was with his teammates, he held them accountable. I mean, Michael and all his shoes deals, like he's definitely worthy of one of the top on this list.
Yeah. Again, I'll trust the old heads on that because I was born after he retired.
Yep.
I guess I was alive for the Wizards years, but anyways.
So we had a couple here in the YouTube chat. We've got Tim Duncan on here. Kimberly said Tim Duncan, which I love Tim Duncan. That's a great one. He's not on the list. We've got Charles Barkley, which Charles Barkley is now, I think, the most entertaining figure when it comes to former players.
Yeah, I don't think his playing style was very entertaining, though.
Right. We got John Morant on here. We have Draymond Green for some answers.
I guess.
All of those are actually really good, but yes, not that made the top 10. So next on that list, LeBron James.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yep. So LeBron James, Steph Curry lands at number 2. And your own Sacramento Kings point guard, Russell Westbrook, leading the way.
I mean, is this a Brody fan that put it together? I mean, what are we doing?
Yes, it probably is. But I will say this about Westbrook. Having him here, I've loved every minute of it. I've been a Westbrook fan throughout my career, maybe because he has ties to the Sonics. You know, no bias there.
He was in the green and gold on draft day.
Maybe a little biased. I watched him at the game on Friday with my nephews that I went to at the Kings game against the Pelicans. And he hasn't been playing. You guys all know this. And he was in his whole getup. He had the camo outfit with the daisies. And I watched him during many of the timeouts. And he's just so entertaining, whether it's on the court and what he's doing and how he's playing. And I know he's not perfect. And I know there's some people who do not like Westbrook. To each is your own. But then I see him on the sidelines. And the guy is just talking with all the young heads. He's talking with the officials. During the breaks, he was doing karaoke with the security guards. Like, he loves life, and I truly feel like he takes every day for what it's worth. And that's hard to do nowadays, especially as a professional athlete when money is such a part of it. But he truly looks like he's enjoying playing every day out there. And so I thought that was, honestly, I probably would have put him right up there. As number one, I don't know, but he's definitely one of the most entertaining players in terms of NBA history. Coming up on the Matt and Kayla Show, let's talk a little baseball, shall we? Kyle's got his Sacramento A's sweatshirt on today. I know it was Sacramento Saturday. Lots of good stuff to talk about when it comes to their weekend. Not so much, though, for the Giants. And dare I say, Vitello had something big happen this weekend for the first time at the MLB level. We'll get to that and much more coming up on the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com, driving business forward.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITVFest.com.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Sacramento! Now you've got a place for all things dance.
The all-new Energy 100.5 HD2.
Where dance music lives. Dance vibes anytime and any place when you get the free Now 100.5 app.
Or listen at 100.5 HD2.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
If you're serious about getting better at golf, start with the fit. At Hagen Oaks, everything begins with Total Game Fitting. The TrackMan Player Performance Studio analyzes your swing to match you with the right clubs. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball for your game. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And with FootJoy's 3D foot scanner, you'll walk the course in shoes that actually fit. From driver to putter and even what's on your feet, Hagen Oaks fits every part of your game. Total Game Fitting, only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Abreu to the plate, and the pitch is swung on drive to deep left field. If it's fair, it's over. It's in the corner, and it's gone! Rutgers ended it! Brent Rucker with a 3-run shot, and the A's win it 12-10.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
That is right. What a moment this weekend for the, right now, West Sacramento A's as they get the series win against the Houston Astros, a.k.a. the Cheaters. Just saying.
The Trastros.
Not apologizing, Astro fans. Sorry. But in all seriousness, you heard it right there. Brent Rooker hitting that walk-off home run to clinch the series in 10 innings yesterday as fans got to take in a baseball game, also an NBA game, a beautiful Easter weekend. And again, they opened up their play this weekend on Friday. And not only did fans get to see the beam, but they got to see fireworks. And I know our own Matt George put out a photo as he was at the Sacramento A's game with his family, put a great photo out of the fireworks with the beam in the background. And look, I'm not from Sacramento, but when I get to a market and I put myself into that market, I go full in. And I will say I was extremely proud walking out of that Kings game on Friday with a win and then seeing the A's had destroyed the Astros 11-4 in that first game. I was like, dang, this city is lit. Like, this city needs more pro sports because the fans here would totally embrace it. You only have what you have right now, and I know, the future is the future, but live up for the moment right now. And when the A's are in town this summer, I think it'll be a pretty fun team to watch, as we've seen, for example, this weekend. Go out and support your team because you don't know when you're going to get them back here or when you're going to get your own team.
Yeah, I mean, the A's one is hard because, it isn't your team, but it's
right.
But
they're here now.
They're crashing on the couch.
Yeah.
Which,
you're not rude to your friends that are crashing on the couch, are you? I mean, I'm not.
Well, it depends,
Because we all kind of get to that spot sometimes in life. You got to be like, all right, we'll give you a break here.
Yeah, but the A's last year were being a little rude while they were sleeping on our couch.
They were. I know they were, but I feel like they've cleaned things up a little bit.
A little bit. The Sacramento jersey thing seemed to be a big success. I think
on
it was
Saturday?
I think they did a giveaway on Saturday, too, with the jerseys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seemed like a huge success. They lost 11-0, but I think that's besides the point, though. It's more so creating the atmosphere. Because, the A's right now have the worst record in the American League. So, it's early in the season, but it's there's a chance the A's are not going to be good this year. There's also a chance they're in a wild card race, which I think would get everyone excited about A's, or I would get more people excited about A's baseball in Sacramento. There certainly are people who are like, doesn't matter what they do, this team should be in Oakland, and I'm not going to support them, which is totally fair.
Yeah.
But if the team is good, I think more people will start to show up than maybe at times last year when they weren't in it at all.
Yeah. And Kimberly, you're right. I mean, she said, I would love for the Republic to become pro. I think that they have the best chance in terms of MLS coming here. I think that's probably who's first up. But it is fun having Major League Baseball here right now. A big night for Tyler Soderstrom in that first game. Brent Rooker, obviously, we talked about. He had a huge weekend. So it was fun just to see them kind of coming home in their first home series of the weekend, being able to capture the series. Again, I know that game 2 was a blowout. But when it's all said and done, at least they got it done. And I think they averaged attendance-wise around like 12,000 over the weekend is what I saw.
Which is basically capacity.
Yeah.
I think 12.5 is capacity at Sutter Health Park. So 12,000 is basically sellout.
I have not been to Sutter Health Park yet. So that is next up on my list of getting to either a River Cats game or an A's game. I'll have to see who's first, but I've got to get out there.
Well, River Cats are in town this week. If you want to go check it out, I know you're going out of town at the back end of the week, but
I am going out of town this weekend. Just a heads up to everybody.
But yeah, River Cats are in town this week, and then I think the A's are back the week after. They got Texas and somebody else.
Oh, I might make it for the Texas series. I covered both Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter at Vanderbilt.
Oh,
so
nice.
I might hop over there and be able to maybe say hi to some old guys that I covered. That's always a fun thing in your career where you cover these kids when they were in college or high school and then they make it to the bigs, and it's like, oh, that's such a neat moment.
Yeah, so it looks like 4 against the Rangers and then 3 against the White Sox next week. Which, yuck.
Spicy.
Yeah, White Sox and A's.
Yeah,
Oof.
looks like the A's could get that series as well.
By the way, I disrespected the A's a second ago. They don't have the worst record in the American League.
I don't know if they do.
Because the Boston Red Sox are 2-7.
2-7, baby. And I heard Boston Red Sox fans, and I know we have fans here that, come from all over the place. We have a YouTube member here that is a Boston Red Sox fan. I'm sure he is not happy with the start. They were chanting, "Sell the team" this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, again, you're in Philly, you're in Boston, and you don't perform to the level you're supposed to perform to, they're going to be putting those chants out, whether it's the beginning year or the end of the year.
Well, and the whole John Henry thing is he's divested from the Red Sox to invest. I can't remember which British soccer team he owns, but the money that the Red Sox are making is being divested to his other sports interests.
It's come on, we can't really do that. The Sox are the Sox, and you're kind of showing that you're not as interested. I get it.
Yeah, and Red Sox fans are you're the reason why this team is not good. This team could be the Yankees and the Dodgers, but you're the reason that we're not that.
You've let them go back to what they maybe were before they became relevant again when they won the whole World Series and came back on the scene.
And even so, they let all their stars leave now, which is, the Devers thing is one thing, but they just let Mookie Betts walk out the door.
And Mookie Betts is their own. Mookie Betts was drafted by them and they brought him up through the system.
Yeah.
So
they traded for Chris Sale and he helped him win a World Series.
You're not
and
wrong.
Then he goes and has a second or third career in Atlanta. They've let their star players walk.
Meanwhile, in the Bay, fans are frustrated. And right now, the Giants fall to 3-7 on the season. Now look, is it the end of the world? No. But it was not a good weekend for the New York Mets or for Tony Vitello. I believe we made a bet on this show, and I thought it was a sticky note. It perhaps can be. I'll go in the break and look if it's on there. But I thought we predicted when Tony Vitello's first ejection would be on the show.
We did. We talked about it.
Don't you remember that?
We talked about it at some point, but
I thought so.
I don't remember if we made it a sticky note. But yes, I believe... I think you were very quick to say he's going to get ejected fast.
Yes, and that was from my time covering him at Tennessee, which I knew he got ejected on a monthly basis there. So this happened in Sunday's loss, the 5-2 loss to the New York Mets. Vitello argued with the plate umpire, Edwin Jimenez, and the third base umpire, David Rackley. In the 7th inning, it was after why can I not say that?
It's another one of those weird ones.
Encarnacion. See?
It's hard.
Encarnacion. There, it just rolls off the tongue now. He was ruled out for running inside the designated lane on his way to first base. Encarnacion then hit a slow roller, and the pitcher grabbed it, threw it to whoever else was on the base, and it was a whole thing. And so Tony Vitello says, I was trying to give a correct answer to the umpire's explanation. The umpire was obviously not having it, and then he was ejected. So
10 games.
10
That's
games
how long
in.
it took.
That's probably a little more than I thought, but
it's the second week of the season. What do you mean it's
longer? I know,
longer?
but it's Tony Vitello. He's got a history.
Baseball managers don't really get ejected like that anymore.
It's very true.
It happens sometimes.
Didn't Gabe Kaplan get ejected?
Yeah,
quite often.
He got thrown out a lot.
I thought so. He kind of, in a way, a little bit reminds me of Gabe.
The other one, I don't think he's still with the Reds, but I remember David Bell used to just get ejected all the time. I think he had 15 in a season or something like that. But other than that, managers don't really get ejected like that anymore.
Well, he got that one out of the way, and right now, again, the Giants kind of struggling to start the season. Do you have the schedule up? Who are they playing? They're starting a series today. Tonight, I believe.
I believe the Phillies.
Oh, the Phillies.
Yeah.
So the Phillies are in town.
Oh, that's.
Oh, baby. So if he thought he was getting feisty against the Mets, I feel like the Phillies are just one of those teams.
This is going to get real bad because the other thing is Webb pitched yesterday, so it's the rest of the starters for the series against the Phillies.
So Adrian Hauser is going to take the mound tonight for the Giants as he goes up against righty Andrew Painter for the Phillies. So. Take your bets on this series coming up, but I do know people are already kind of getting out there. I know Keith Olbermann, a blast from the past, right?
I was like, are you following him on Twitter?
No. So Alan retweeted it. Alan Stiles, also Locked On Giants. He does a lot for them. He retweeted Keith Olbermann, and he was like, I cannot believe it. This is going to be an epic failure for the Giants with Tony Vitello as the manager, and he was just going off, and Alan was pretty much pump your brakes, man. It's just the start of the season. But, this is what happens when you have Buster running the show, Buster Posey, and now he's hired a guy that's doing it for the first time. So there's going to be questions out there. I'm not saying that anybody should panic yet, though.
But it was a risky hire, and we all acknowledged it when it happened. It's
absolutely.
No college coach has ever made a jump like this, and B, you specifically chose this college coach who has a
little bit of a background.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a history, shall we say.
A gamble indeed. We'll see if it pays off. We got a long season to go, though, when it comes to Major League Baseball. Coming up on the Matt and Kayla Show, it is time for Pick a Side as we end hour 11. We got some goodies in here today, so stick around here on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
When you hear that music, you know it is time for Pick a Side. We got some good ones here today. Kyle, what do we want to start off with?
How about we start off with the Golden State Warriors? Boo.
Speaking of the Bay.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Bay Area teams that lose all the time.
Dang.
So Steph Curry's back for the Warriors before the playoffs. They're like 5 games under 500 right now.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be the 10 seed.
Yep.
But Steve Kerr is saying that the Warriors are back in the mix as long as they have Steph Curry.
Okay.
Do we agree with Steve Kerr?
Look, I get it. Steph Curry is such a game changer. Clearly the reason why they decided to stick with him and make other moves to make sure that he was given what he needed to be given to finish his career with the Golden State Warriors. I get it. And he does elevate that team to a different level. I mean, we saw it last night in his return and being able to kind of just be the Steph Curry that he was, and he's missed 20-plus games. And by the way, you'll see it this week because Sacramento Kings are playing Golden State.
Twice.
So you don't get to see it once, but you get to see it twice, whether you like it or not.
That's the last home game of the season.
It is. So do I feel like they're back in the mix? And when I heard Steve Kerr say back in the mix, I clearly believe he meant like they're going to try to make a run. As a 10 seed, probably not. And Steph can only do so much for you when you've got a lot of other talented teams right now that have been together and kind of building the momentum going into this playoff season. I don't think they're in the mix.
Well,
and I almost feel like it's going to be interesting to see, like, do you want to keep Steph just ready for next season? But they're going to play him, and they're going to try to make a playoff push.
Yeah, as long as you don't have, like, a catastrophic injury to Steph, I feel like it's going to be okay. Like, the Giants did it the New York Giants like brought someone back from injury and they like blew out their ACL or something like that. Like, you know, as long as you don't have something like that, then I think it's fine. But I don't think the Warriors are going to go on a run from the 10 seed. I mean, the last time the Warriors were the 10 seed, never forget 2 years ago when the Sacramento Kings put them out in the play-in tournament.
Exactly.
And Scott Moak went viral for hitting the night-night on Steph.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Fresh, not Scott Moak.
Scott Fresh?
Yeah.
He did do the shimmy last night.
Yes, he did.
It's the shimmy was back. Yeah.
From
Steph.
From Steph? Okay, I thought it was like from Fresh Hour? But it's from Steph.
From Steph.
He's back in it. But look, I said the Timberwolves would make the playoffs, so I think the Timberwolves can make the I'm sorry, not the Timberwolves, the Trailblazers. I think the Trailblazers, who are the 9 seed right now, can beat the Warriors in that 9-10 game. And,
I do too.
And even if the Warriors do win, the Clippers are like the hottest team in the NBA over the last like 2 months of the season. Yeah. And maybe the Clippers will win their first play-in game, but then you have to play the Suns, and the Suns are really good also. So I don't see the Warriors getting out of the play-in.
I don't either. I really do feel like just having Steph 2 out for that amount of time, it just kind of put a damper on the season. But it is amazing when you see Steph back in the headlines and he's healthy, the headlines are right back on Steph and right back on Golden State. But it's been so quiet since he's been out.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler tearing his ACL kind of doomed their season.
It didn't hurt.
And Moses Moody had that catastrophic injury too. So like, it's not just Steph too. It's like Steph can do but some. And they don't have their beautiful boy Kuminga anymore.
That's right.
Like
JK's over in Atlanta doing his stuff in the ATL. So
yeah, no, it's pretty bad for them. But
next question.
Next up, Cooper Flagg had a huge weekend.
Yeah, he did.
Became the first teenager to ever score 50 points in an NBA game. Followed it up with a 45-point game. And he became the first rookie ever to have back-to-back 40-point games.
Wow.
So did Cooper Flagg just jump Con Kneppel, his college teammate, for the Rookie of the Year?
Oh, man. So Flagg has a minus 250 odds. Kneppel has a plus 180 odd. Kneppel's been so good this year, and he's been just good from start to finish. I know Flagg dealt with some injuries, but when he's playing his best basketball, it's hard, and when you watch him also, it's hard to like argue the fact that Cooper Flagg isn't the best rookie out there. I think it was a statement made by Flagg, but I am going to go with Kneppel because I do feel like he's elevated the Hornets, and I don't feel like if the Hornets had Con Kneppel that they would be in the spot that they were in this year. And we've recently seen him with the Kings as well, play against the Kings as well. And that Hornets team looks decent.
No, I agree with you on that too, because the other part with Cooper Flagg, and again, I don't want to take away from how awesome the performance is.
I mean, 96 points in a 2-game span.
Yeah, I mean,
excuse me.
And the 45-point game, they beat the Lakers. He almost had a triple-double in that game. So, like, he's crazy. But the other part is, in the 51-point game, he took 30 shots.
Okay.
In the Laker game, he took 27 shots and 17 free throws.
We're also talking about a Lakers team that did not have Luka. Also did not have
Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, but Luka's going to Europe to get hamstring treatment.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out a way. But if you thought Con Kneppel was the Rookie of the Year a week ago, he probably should still be the Rookie of the Year. And I thought he was the Rookie of the Year a week ago, so I'll stick with Con Kneppel.
Yep. Okay, this is funny. This next pick aside, I want you to read it, but now we can react to it as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So I put this in here before the breaking news happened in the last hour.
So this morning, it was Dusty May removes his name from the North Carolina job.
Right, so Michigan's head coach removed his name.
Tommy Lloyd did the same thing.
Tommy Lloyd, Arizona's head coach.
So he said, had the North Carolina job lost its luster, which now they've hired Michael Malone.
Right.
For who knows how much money.
I'm interested to see what the deets are on that.
Yeah, so has it lost its luster?
Okay, so I was actually gonna go with yes on this. And the fact that they have not been able to notch any college head coaches that are like top level, we used to see it all the time. And we see it in the SEC with some of their football coaches, Lane Kiffin, where they'll just go from one program to the next, right? And really, at what point do you just be like, I'm gonna stay here and build the program? Arizona pretty much, Tommy's like, no, why would I go there? Michigan's coach, May, was like, why would I go there? I'm building my own thing. So I in a way was like, it has in a way lost its luster, but it's always going to be a blue blood. It just needs to be revamped. Can Michael Malone do it though now? It's going to be a different story with an NBA coach, former NBA coach, going to the college ranks. There's a lot that goes with NIL now. I still am going to stick with it's lost a bit of its luster. Can Michael Malone bring him back to relevancy? We'll see. By the way, his daughter's playing volleyball there. So that Richie, our program director, came in and gave me that tidbit. So that is something that may have brought him down to North Carolina.
A willingness to take that job without waiting to see if an NBA job would open up.
But when you hear UNC, do you still think like dominant blue blood program?
I feel like the Blue Bloods as a whole are not like just a class above everybody else anymore, right?
That's fair to say.
So like when Kentucky let Calipari go and they hired Mark Pope, like Mark Pope was a good get, but like he was the BYU coach. It's not like they were poaching him from like Arizona or Michigan or something like that. So I just think that these second tier jobs that are below the Blue Bloods, your Kansases, your Kentuckys, your North Carolinas, your Dukes, I guess UConn, like those second-tier jobs are just as good as the blue bloods, I guess is the way to put it. Like, people will still leave BYU to go take one of these jobs, but they're not going to leave Arizona, Michigan, Houston, Illinois, one of these second-tier programs we don't think of as blue bloods, but are very good.
Yeah, I'm curious just to see what happens with that. But they definitely, when they're right next door to Duke, I mean, you're looking behind your back every day, like, oh, we can't get that far behind. So they're obviously putting a lot into this Malone hire to do that. Okay, next up on the list, this one's a little bit of a fun pick aside here.
I want to know your thoughts on this. So,
yes.
Easter egg hunts are underrated.
Yeah, not overrated. Okay, people, I know a lot of you parents out there probably put together Easter egg hunts yesterday. I had not done an Easter egg hunt since I was probably like 5 years old. 6 years, I don't know, when I was really young. And we used to do it all the time on Sundays of Easter. But
I was like, you're just doing it for fun.
Every Sunday. But yesterday, I went up to my sister-in-law's house, and her parents put on a heck of an Easter. Great food, great family time. We started it off with an Easter egg hunt for the kids, and there's 4 nephews. And they did a great job hiding them all over the front and backyard. And then they even got the parents involved and us adults involved by putting a green bunny that we had to find. And whoever found the green bunny could either take all what was in the green bunny or share it. And so Emily's sister-in-law won it, and she found it. And she shared all the scratch tickets with us. So that was very kind of her. But I felt like when I was helping my nephews look for the eggs, I was like so excited for them. I was like, man, I want to be doing an Easter egg hunt every Easter now. I'm looking forward to that.
Easter egg hunts are like scavenger hunts.
Yeah.
And scavenger hunts are awesome.
I know. I'm like, they're so underrated.
When I was a kid, I used to love making scavenger hunts like for my brother. That was like something I just found a lot of fun, creative process in.
Sure.
Scavenger hunts are so cool and so fun. I don't know if the Easter egg hunt itself is overrated or underrated because like everyone does it every year, but like scavenger
when money is involved, even like dollar bills, like, then you get a little competitive.
That's actually a great part of it too. For an adult specifically, candy is less of a motivator.
Right.
But money, that might be your winning ticket. So scavenger hunts, very underrated. So I'll throw Easter egg hunts in there too.
Well, that is pick a side at talking about not underrated. Sorry. Yes, he is underrated. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. This man is not overrated. He is definitely underrated.
Segue, Kayla.
Thank you. Our own Brenda Nunes is joining us at the top of the hour. It is lunch break. It is time for you to call in, and we'll talk Kings coming up next with Brenda Nunes here on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
Meet iPhone 17e. A whole lot for a lot less. With an almighty, all-powerful A19 chip. And Ceramic Shield 2, built to survive this. And this. And a 48-megapixel fusion camera with 2x optical quality zoom and next-gen portraits. And double the starting storage of iPhone 16e. And long-lasting battery life for hours of watching the studio. That's the dream! And it comes with Apple Intelligence. And you can charge it with USB-C. Or with MagSafe accessories. Ooh. And a whole lot more. All for a lot less. Get the new iPhone 17e at T-Mobile today.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere. It's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Russell Peters Relax World Tour.
I go, my parents are from India. She goes, oh, India. See, I knew India. Indian people, you have a big eyes and long eyelash like a cow. Wow, 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 wow.
Saturday, April 18th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley.
Wow, 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 wow. I didn't know what to do. I just tipped her and thank you, bye-bye, and I left.
For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Russell Peters Relax World Tour.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Emran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
Welcome into the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports. Kayla Anderson, Kyle Ledbetter in studio today, and our own Matt George is off today, but he will be back tomorrow. We've done a lot up to this point. It is a lovely Monday. I'll just say this. Woke up, sunshine was out, energy is good, and the energy is always good when our own Brendan Nunes joins the program. Let's talk a little Kings, because it was an interesting weekend. A win, a loss. Where do we land now in terms of the lottery, whole spiel of things? I know people are not happy with where things are, but you know what? I'd say a split weekend, at least for fans who want to see wins, wasn't a bad thing. Brendan, how are you on this fine Monday?
What's up, Kayla? Thanks for having me on. And I'm doing well. You know, I am a little bit sad because as much as these games have not been the most entertaining from a Kings standpoint, I did realize yesterday was going to be my last home game because Friday I'm going to be out there for Stockton's championship game, one of their second game of that best of three in the G League Finals. So, you know, it's that time of year where we all complain about how bad the games are, but we're all going to miss it when it's gone.
You know what? I want to start with that real quick. So are you going to Greensboro?
No, so I'm not going to the first game.
Okay.
Absolutely not. That's crazy.
I was going to say, man, they're really putting it into you. Yeah.
No, not that I would be opposed, but no. Game 1 in Greensboro. Game 2 is on Friday in Stockton, and then Game 3, if necessary, would be back in Greensboro.
Okay, so I do want to just start with that because I think we don't give enough credit sometimes to the G League organization and the Stockton Kings and being able to do what they've done. We've talked about, you know, Daquan Jeffries, who we saw a little bit up here, PBJ, who we've seen a little bit up here, and them being able to win another Western Conference final. I guess what overall does it mean for the Kings organization, just that they have such an impactful G League organization that's feeding into them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely matters. You've seen it over recent years. Isaac Jones, an undrafted player that they end up developing. Go back a little bit more, fan favorite Keon Ellis, who obviously is kind of the big thing outside of Dennis Schroeder's contract that ends up landing you DeAndre Hunter. I know people weren't super satisfied with that, but he's a great story. I think Dylan Cardwell somewhat falls under this, spent a little bit of time in Stockton, even though he primarily has been with the Sacramento team for most of this year. I think it just really speaks to their player development staff and the people that they have running Stockton. You know, Paul Johnson has been a part of that for a long time. He's no longer running Stockton, but now he's working with Sacramento and still involved a little bit. You'll see him out there But I think it's a credit to sort of their ability to not only identify back-end talent that may have gotten overlooked, undrafted, not currently on a roster somewhere else, whatever it may be. Even Patrick Baldwin Jr. has been really good for their G League team, a guy that was balling out when he was playing for his other teams prior to joining Sacramento. I think Killian Hayes somewhat similar. I think it's a credit to their ability to identify undervalued players and then also develop them. And you've seen that impact the NBA level a little bit, but definitely a credit to them, and especially having done it over multiple different Stockton GMs, multiple different head coaches as well. I think it just speaks to clearly they're doing things the right way down there, and they seem to also do a very good job of some of these teams throw together just a bunch of young guys. Hey, we're curious about what this guy looks like, what this guy looks like, what this guy looks like, and there's no real cohesion as a unit. And I think the Stockton team does a really good job of playing the same style and getting guys that will help fit, and therefore making it easier to develop the couple of guys that they're really, possibly envisioning at the next level.
Brendan Nunes joining us. We're talking a little bit of Kings. And speaking of the Kings, Friday was just in terms of a great sports night. I don't know if you were you at the Kings, Brendan? I'm assuming on Friday. Yeah. You're like, yeah. I went to my first game in terms of a full game and getting to see the beam lit. And I know in the tanking crowd, and look, I'm part of that too, because I do want to see them get a top draft pick. But I'm going to tell you, Brendan, in the moment, sitting there watching the game and specifically watching the young guys take over in that second half, I was like, oh yeah, this is what it feels like to be involved in the excitement and to win a game like that. It's hard then at that moment to be like, yeah, we really needed to tank that game. But I understand both sides.
No, I mean, I think they did it the, quote unquote right way, right? I think DeMar is the one that people would point to now of well, you don't need this guy scoring 40 points, and getting a win that way. He only played 23 minutes that night, 14 points, 11 shots. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that shot more attempts than he did. I think that's the way you want to see it. They overcame a big deficit. I thought Dylan Cardwell was huge defensively. Obviously, he has the big block on Zion to really close that game out. But Nate Clifford getting the ball in his hands a lot, him and Devin Carter sort of being the backcourt and getting that experience and that responsibility, I think is really good. You get 9 assists between them. Precious Achiuwa continues to do just all the little things. So, yeah, I mean, I get the people that roll their eyes and aren't happy that the Kings have, the 5th place lottery odds, and whatever that may end up meaning when the lottery comes around, even though they still have a decent chance of jumping up. Mm-hmm. We've seen crazier things before. But that's the way you want to do it, man. And the players are never going to go out there and try and lose games. That's just never how this is going to work. So they played the right guys, the guys that you want to see continue to develop and grow. And to me, while I get the frustrations from some people, I don't see how you really can complain with one like that.
You talked about Nate Clifford, and I know we've spoke about this several times on the show before. He hasn't had as much consistent time as the rookie Maxime Reynaud in that specific position. He's kind of bounced around, done some different things. But I really, truly feel like he's starting to gain his confidence, and he's not anticipating as much. He's not in his own head as much. And I felt like that, especially in that game on Friday. His personality came out a lot. It felt like the young guys were just on the same page. But with Neek specifically, I just thought he stood out.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've seen it over the last couple games. That one, he almost played 40 minutes, which I think is kind of crazy. And I try to remind myself, these are college guys that played, 20 to 30-something games last year. And now they're on game 75 or whatever it may have been at that point, probably more than that, and playing 40 minutes. That's quite an adjustment that I think is easy to forget when guys are going through their rookie season. But I think you've seen him grow more comfortable with that recently. To me, it's the pick and roll game that I feel like we've seen a lot of development in. I like seeing, some of the mid-range stuff and self-creation, bailing his team out when they need to, rather than, just relying on DeMar to do so, for example. I thought we saw that a little bit last night, but to me, I think it's sort of his patience and poise in the pick and roll. And you see Maxime Reynaud benefit from this a lot. Precious Achiuwa, Dylan Cardwell falls under the same thing. But I feel like he doesn't look as rushed He looks like he's more playing at his own pace, under control and on his own timing, essentially hitting pocket passes well, deciding and recognizing when maybe this is my opportunity to go up. Like he talked previously about how, you got to kind of obviously still get everybody into their sets, run the play, but Doug is still on him to, play basketball out there, as simple as that sounds. But hey, like just because we have this play drawn up, if you see an opportunity to blow by your guy and get to the rim, then go do that, and I feel like we've seen him strike that balance more recently.
We've got Brennan Nunez, Sactown Sports Kings insider, joining us. You mentioned DeMar DeRozan a second ago, and in last night's game, he only played 10 minutes, didn't play in the second half. Do we think over these last 3 games that's going to be more of a trend, or was last night just hey, we're down by 20 points, we don't need to see DeMar play anymore, we're getting blown out?
Yeah, I think he's still going to be out there. Doug got asked about it a little bit after the game and essentially said, DeMar's a hooper. Like, he wants to be out there, man. And after he had a big game in recent weeks, I'm forgetting the exact team they were against, he had missed the game prior, and he came out and talked about how much he hated missing that game. He's played through games sick throughout the course of this year. Like, he takes a lot of pride in being out there every single day. There's it's sort of cliche, but I don't think every NBA player truly loves basketball, just like not everybody loves their job. I don't think you can question it with DeMar. Like, that man is an absolute hoop head, loves ball, and wants to be out there. So I think we'll see him, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's in a similar capacity to what last night was, because, honestly, what are they really playing for at this point? We'll see what DeMar's future holds, if that's in Sacramento or they move on, whatever it may be. Obviously partially guaranteed next season, but yeah, I think he's definitely going to be out there because DeMar wants to be. It's still a benefit for these guys, but probably not playing, 30 plus minutes for these final few games.
Daquan Plowden had a pretty good weekend as well, and I know they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with him. Do you truly feel he has a spot on this team? And obviously not as a starter, but just in terms of depth. I just love what I've seen out of him lately, and he's been able to play more. So it's like he's been able to kind of build some momentum for himself when it comes to his three-point shot. Obviously, we've seen that on display as well.
Yeah, I think he's played really well recently, and he had an earlier stretch in the season as well where he was pretty impactful. He's an interesting case. Obviously, being on a two-way contract and still older, surprisingly, he still does have 2 years after this season of two-way eligibility left. So if the Kings wanted to re-up with that, maybe that would be a way to go. I personally, and this is just kind of thinking it through myself rather than really reporting anything, to me, an older player like that I think does have this sort of 3-and-D prototype, it would make a lot of sense for like a good team to have him on a two-way contract, right? And just be able to have him as injury insurance, or, one of their depth guys isn't working out and, hey, let's try this piece. So to me, that's something that, if I was on his side, it wouldn't surprise me if they decided that was the best way to go about it. But I could also see the Kings still remaining a good opportunity because he still does need an opportunity to spread his wings a little bit. Like when he was on Atlanta, he played his first NBA game, had like 19 points, and then kind of never saw the floor again, So I think there is some value for sure to being on a team where you're going to get more opportunity than you would anywhere else. And I think that would be Sacramento's selling point going into next season. So definitely an interesting guy to monitor that I think will, if he's not on the Kings, it wouldn't surprise me if he's in some other place, making at least a little bit of an impact or attempting to crack a rotation going into next season.
So Brennan Nunez joining us here on the Matt and Kayla Show. We're talking a little Kings right now as the season slowly winds down. 3 games left, 2 against Golden State, 1 against Portland. What's like, I know you're going to miss one of those games because you're going to be covering the Stockton Kings, but what's like the philosophy here down the stretch for a team that is clearly does not want to be in this type of situation, but at least I guess like your season is truly over. You're not fighting for a play-in spot. What do you think in terms of Doug Christie and this team should be with these final 3 games focused on?
Yeah, people aren't going to want to hear this, but I still think they're trying to win games. I think, and that specifically within the context of these young players, they would love for throwing a random thing out here, but for Maxime Reynaud to have a 40 ball, for example, and then win a game in Golden State. Like, I think that continuing to see growth, development from these young guys, attempting to, you know, put them in scenarios that they have all year long and then wanting them to get better at that. Like, the more film that these guys can have to review of specific scenarios that the team wants them in moving forward, the more film they have of that going into the offseason, the better. The more film, the more experience, all of the above. So, I mean, I think it's going to be similar to what we've seen recently, but like Devin Carter is going out there with a chip on his shoulder and feels like he has something to prove. You know, Maxime Reynaud thinks that he's one of the better rookies in the class and he has something to prove. He wasn't shy in saying that the other day. Like, Doug Christie, like, is he going to be the head coach next season? We don't know. Like, it's still his job to try and win games. So I know people aren't going to love to hear it. I think that will come in the form of prioritizing the young players, like we just talked about with the DeMar conversation. But yeah, the whole, you know, coming into this year was about creating a culture and identity. And I think it's safe to say they've been unsuccessful in doing so, but that's been their goal the whole time. And I think that's still something that they're trying to cultivate and manifest, I guess, a little bit over these final games.
It's so interesting. We speak all the time about Scott Perry's massive checklist when it comes to this summer. Like, I do not envy that man at all, because every week I feel like we have a new thing to add to his checklist. But when you look at that and just what he needs to get done for you, because everybody varies in what their opinion is on this, but for you, what's that first thing that you really need to see solidified by Scott in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, I think the obvious one is the draft pick, right? Of can they get their star in that way? But the other two to me that I guess feel more up in the air is who is your head coach moving forward? I'm personally kind of unsure about Doug. I think that, you know, he loves the city. I think that you definitely need to, and then this is something I've been trying to balance a little bit in my mind, is, you know, give him grace and understand that he's a rookie essentially in this as well, and he can improve and get better. But I think there's a big question of, you know, who do you want being the first head coach of, if you do get your expected franchise player, like, who do you want to be the one that's their first NBA experience? And people have pointed out to me that, you know, because a lot of times I would mention, well, do you really want Darren Peterson, Adrian Devonta to have two head coaches in 2 years? If you give Doug one more trial season, for example. And it was Sean Cunningham pointed out to me, he's like, that happens all the time. Like, Cade Cunningham, multiple head coaches. Anthony Edwards had Ryan Saunders his first year before he gets moved on from. And, like, this does happen a lot. So I could see both ways, but I think that's a big question. And also, if you don't get your point guard in the draft, even if you do, it's a rookie point guard. Like, you guys remember last offseason, that was like the whole primary focus was, hey, we don't have a starting point guard. They still don't have a starting point guard. Like, I kind of think that Russell Westbrook's an expiring contract. Killian Hayes, if you're going into the year with Killian Hayes as your starting point guard, that's concerning. No slight to him, but he was on a G League roster most of this year for a reason. Devin Carter, you don't feel like is in that spot. Nick Clifford is more of a complimentary playmaker. Like, they still don't have that. And that was such a focal point of last offseason that I'm kind of anticipating it to be the case again this year, even if they do draft a point guard. Like, De'Aaron Fox had George Hill here when he first got here. You know, like, I think veteran guys like that matter. So to me, it's draft, coaching, and then we're going to be right back to not having a starting point guard going into next year.
That's wild, because it's like you talked about it so much, and I joined, you know, kind of filling in here during the fall, and that was obviously the talk. And then he brings in Dennis Schroeder, and then just to go and trade him away. And you're exactly right. Now we're back to square one if they don't draft that point guard. Do you think it would be in any way distracting to bring Westbrook back? Because I know we've had so many people that are kind of on both or either sides in terms of the Westbrook line. I personally feel like he's done a good job helping develop some of these younger players. But, I mean, in a way, is it a distraction at all, bringing him back?
A distraction. I think there is part of me that just questions the benefit, though. I mean, obviously the answer to that would be the veteran mentorship that he provides, right? Like, I think that the person you've seen that with most, and at least most obviously on the court, has been Maxime Reynaud. It's a little tough to get a gauge for, obvious to Russ's point when he called a few of us out of we're not in the film room, we're not in the locker rooms for all these moments. So it's a little tough to get the full gauge of how much that really matters. And that's something that they obviously must know internally. And to me, it's gauge your young guys. Do the young guys want him back or not? And so I personally think it wouldn't surprise me if, he wants a chance to compete a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if he just wants a chance to play. And I think that's probably why he ended up with Sacramento this season. So I know I'm kind of dancing around the question. If it was up to me, I probably don't see a point in bringing him back. It's probably better to, in my mind, go a different direction. And, for example, you draft a young point guard, you draft a Darius Acuff, is Russ just taking a lot of his minutes? That's the weird thing to me. If you got a Tyus Jones, for example, who I know hasn't been very good this year, that guy's comfortable being the backup. Is Russ going to be okay? And I don't know the answer to this, but is Russ going to be okay with he's better than the rookie, but they're playing the rookie more than him? I guess we're kind of already seeing that happen at the close of this season, but it's different when you're already knocked out. It's already, your standing is cemented at this point already. So it's a weird one to me where I personally probably don't see much of a point, but I could talk myself into, or at least ask enough questions to allow them to try and sell me on the mentorship aspect of it all.
So I wanted to get your gauge on where you're at with prospects right now, because I know all of us have kind of switched up a little. Some of us have stuck with our guys in terms of who we would like to see land here. But after a little bit of the NCAA tournament, and that, of course, wrapping up tonight with Michigan and UConn, who are you looking at eyeing right now, Nunes?
So definitely still have Devonta and Peterson 1 and 2.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to move at all. And I'm really starting to lock into all this now as the season's coming to an end, obviously. And I kind of, sadly enjoy when the prospects get knocked out of the tournament because I'm okay, their season's officially done.
Yeah.
Time to dive into all this. Those two are going to stay there, though. 3 and 4, I kind of think I could end up with Caleb Wilson above Cam Boozer. I love Caleb Wilson. I think the ceiling is ridiculous and extremely underrated for him. I know the three-point shooting wasn't really there, but he was extremely efficient and effective in the mid-range, including contested looks, sort of some isolation creation there. I think he's extremely interesting. And then after that, Kingston Flemings, I still really like. I wouldn't surprise me if I have him 5, but Keaton Wagler, man, is somebody that really catches my attention. That it's certainly an upside swing. Somebody that was, had a growth spurt recently, put on a bunch relative to being, coming in fairly light, but put on some weight at Illinois. I think there's intrigue about can he put more on his frame and play with more physicality? But I think some of that self-creation stuff is really interesting to me there. So I'm quietly rising on Wagler a little bit here. And Acuff scares me, man. Acuff, I think there's interesting things. I know you're a big Acuff fan, and I see all the offensive talent. I think and this is probably the same reason I'm a little bit skeptical on Boozer. I'm just a big defensive guy.
Sure.
And I have just concerns or curiosities about how some of those would work. But hey, if you're the offensive player that either one of those are projecting to be, then you just figure out the defense and you live with it. But I worry, I guess, put a little bit more stock into that side of the floor.
No, I definitely get that. It'll be interesting. I'm really thrilled to be here and get to see my first lottery and see how that all kind of plays out. Definitely hoping I can bring some new energy here, Brendan. Real quick, speaking of new energy, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Michael Malone being hired as UNC's next head coach, coming from the pros to the college ranks to help revitalize this Tar Heels program. What do you think about the hire, and how do you feel he could possibly do there?
Yeah, pretty wild with how much Billy Donovan was linked there, Bulls head coach. And then, 20 minutes later, the Bulls fire their front office. And this is with 3-4 games left in their season. I find the timing to be really curious, especially, right after that. Weird. But I mean, I think Mike Malone's a phenomenal coach. I think coaching at the collegiate level is obviously just a different beast. It's not harder in any way, or I would say maybe not any way, but just different. I mean to say, rather than really compare the two about in terms of difficulty, difference in doing all the recruiting and all that. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what ends up happening with Billy Donovan. Does he end up sticking around in Chicago? And selfishly, from the Kings standpoint, when a free agent head coach goes off the market, I kind of note it a little bit. You know, I know Malone's exit in Sacramento wasn't the kindest, and he's had some things to say, like when they fired Mike Brown, he had a pretty iconic quote that was pretty great. But it's cliche, but it's very true. There's only 30 jobs, and so you never know. So selfishly, when I see that, one of the things that pops in my mind is, head coach candidate off the table for the Kings.
Brendan Nunez has been our guest here on the Matt and Kayla Show. Really appreciate it, my friend. Excited for you that you get to cover some Stockton Kings this weekend. Looking forward to watching some of that if they can reclaim the title again. So that'll be fun, and we appreciate you always for hopping on, especially last minute, my friend.
Yep, thanks for having me. Keep up the great work.
All right, thanks, Brendan. That is Brendan Nunez, our Kings insider. And real quick, I thought it would be fun, since we were just talking about, right now and some of the prospects that are out there, where the Kings can land in this NBA draft lottery. So we'll do a little sim lottery before we go, because I had the Kings earlier in the show picking second, and
Did you test your luck?
And I should have just kept it there. Yep. So in this lottery sim, it is not good for the Kings. So we've got Dallas getting the number 1 spot. They go up 7 to get the number 1 spot, which would be unbelievably hilarious if Dallas moved all the way up to get the number 1 spot.
You mean to put Cooper Flagg and Devonta together?
That's disgusting, and I don't want any part of that. Brooklyn moves up a spot. They're at 2. Washington moves to the 3 spot. The Memphis Grizzlies at 4.
Man, the Grizzlies are having a great day.
The Grizzlies are having a heck of a day. I'm telling you, LeBron put that out there, and the atmosphere just was like, you know what, we're going to give some love to the Grizzlies on this Monday. The Pacers fall 3 spots to 5, and they've got to give up their pick to the Clippers.
Yes, good for the Clippers.
Utah's at 6.
And Sacramento's
at 7. Sacramento falls all the way to 7.
Hey, but Brennan loves Keaton Wagler.
He does.
You can get him at 7.
He absolutely does. So there we go. I hope that is not the case, but then again, we'll just have to wait and see. Coming up next on the Matt and Kayla Show, let's go around the NBA. You heard it from Brendan Nunez. Yeah, the Bulls, they are pretty much fixing up and getting rid of their front office. We'll get to that, plus some more headlines from the weekend in the NBA. That's coming up next on the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140. A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season. Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, John Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITBFest.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Your Toyota's been through a lot with you. Traffic, rain, potholes, you name it. But it keeps showing up, mile after mile. So maybe it's time to give a little back. For a limited time at your local Toyota dealer, get 3 new tires and get the 4th for $1. Because a ride that's always there for you deserves to be taken care of. 3 tires, get the 4th for $1? Go on. Treat your Toyota. Deal ends April 30th. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Restrictions apply. Toyota and Scion vehicles only. See participating Toyota dealers for details.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back to the Matt and Kayla Show. Moving right along here in the noon hour. And we're going to go around the NBA. There's been a lot that has happened over the past couple of days. But most recently, I feel like we always have some sort of news to talk about when it comes to the National Basketball Association. And most recently, Shams putting out something about 44 minutes ago, a little bit over 44 minutes ago, that the Chicago Bulls have dismissed their executive vice president of basketball operations and their general manager. You take over the names because I'm not even going to touch that.
You didn't want to
I did not want to touch that. It's been a day, and I was like, I'm not touching that. I've already got Encarnacion wrong. See, now it's just flowing off the tip of my
by the way,
tongue.
our boss had jokes that I didn't understand about, I think it was Nacho Libre.
Yeah. Jack Black.
Trying to say
movie.
Encarnacion.
Mm-hmm. But now I've got that down.
Yes.
But yes, they've dismissed their executive vice president of basketball operations.
Arturas Karnisovas.
There we go. And their general manager, Mark Eversley.
I think I've never heard his name pronounced before, but I think that's what it is.
That is. I just wanted you to tackle the big one.
You mean Arturas Karnisovas?
That's right. It's like my hockey days when I covered the NHL. Man, learning some of those names, those Russian names in particular, I'm like, oh my goodness, I had to do like on repeat for myself.
No, I totally get it. And honestly, he wasn't that important because all he did was send the Kings Zach LaVine and got fired.
Right. So, shakeup in Chicago. My question to you is, we just spoke to Brendan Nunez, who came on here at the top of the hour, and he was speaking about, it was a little surprising because Michael Malone just got the UNC job. I was under the impression, Kyle, that I thought Billy Donovan was probably going to get that job. And I think there was more than just like a little bit of gasoline. Like, I think it was somewhat lit in terms of some flames with Billy Donovan going to UNC and going back to the college ranks. So my question is what do they do with Billy Donovan now? Do they keep him there?
You got to fire him. I mean,
you would think, right? You just fired your general manager and your executive vice president.
Which I'm trying to look it up. I can't remember if they're the ones who hired him or if he was there before. It's got to be that they hired him as the coach of the team. So this was the whole, so he was the first hire that they made as head coach. But this goes back to the whole thing we talked about with Scott Perry and Doug Christie, is like aligning the timelines is so important. Giving a new general manager and a new front office the coach that they want is very important, because otherwise you're going to have to, the Kings went so many years where it was like Vlade Divac inherited Dave Yeager and then hired Luke Walton and then Monty McNair inherited Luke Walton.
That's a mess. You have to cut off the head of the snake.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point.
And then eventually it aligned because Monty McNair got to hire Mike Brown.
Right.
Well, then Mike Brown gets fired, Monty McNair gets fired, and Scott Perry hires Doug Christie, who was the interim coach before Scott Perry ever got hired. So it's that same conversation. I feel like what's the point of hiring an entire new front office just for them to be forced to inherit Billy Donovan?
100%. So it's only a matter of time. I think you're right on with that, Kyle, that Billy Donovan is going to say his farewells in Chi-Town. But I don't know. Like, does Donovan try to pursue the college ranks now, even though UNC is no longer on the table? Or is he somebody that you could see getting hired somewhere after, obviously, we see a purge of coaches in the NBA?
Also, were the Bulls just waiting to see if Billy Donovan was going to take the North Carolina job?
It almost feels like that.
But what would that have changed? Just they wouldn't have had to pay his buyout?
I guess.
Clearly, they were going to fire everyone anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, clearly that decision had already been made if you're doing it, today. But did they just want to wait and see if they would have to buy out Billy? Or if he would just leave on his own?
#buyout Billy.
Yeah. I genuinely, I don't know why the timing has to be something, right?
Yeah.
If it's within like 30 minutes of Michael Malone
I think it's very
taking
weird.
the North Carolina job, it has to be something to do with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, yeah, maybe it's only a matter of time before Shams drops the bomb on us that Billy Donovan is no of the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, respect that they're letting him finish out the season, it seems like.
Yeah.
But couldn't you have let Karnisovas and Eversley finish out the season? I don't know.
I would think the news would all come out at the same time, but this is how random the cycle is in terms of the NBA sometimes.
And a bad organization.
And a
like
bad
the Bulls,
organization, yeah.
Which is not great that they get compared to the Kings all the time. The Kings just have the team that these guys put together.
This is such a different Bulls than I grew up with. Like, it's so crazy how different it is. Talking about the Bulls' relevancy now is just 100% different from what it was back in the day, and how it can truly fall. But the Blackhawks did too. The Chicago Blackhawks, the same thing happened with them.
Yeah.
Where they won all these Stanley Cups, and they're some of the best hockey fans, there are in the country. And then their organization has really, even with Connor Bedard and him being a number 1 draft pick a couple of years ago, like, the organization is still not back to relevancy.
Yeah, I think they're going on like 8 years without making the playoffs.
It's pretty wild. It can happen, though. Even the best.
Yeah, well, I mean, good. It doesn't make me feel good that the team that they built originally was Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan as the centerpieces, and Vucevic, who's very similar to Sabonis.
Sure.
And now the Sacramento Kings have that team, and the Bulls decided they deserve to get fired for building that team.
Yeah. It's a wild world we live in. Around the NBA, we keep going, and next headline, Pistons clinch number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, Cade Cunningham not there right now as he is experiencing a collapsed lung, but he is expected to be back for that first playoff game in 2 weeks. I'm really excited to see him back there and to see what they can do in the playoffs, because the minute that Cade Cunningham became injured and had that collapsed lung, the Pistons are fine. They're fine. We obviously see that they clinched the number 1 seed, but it's just different when Cade's there.
I mean, yeah, he's the reason why they're going to win a championship. And what's different too is even though you have the number 1 seed, a lot of the times we see a team like Boston, the Knicks, the Cavaliers, teams that have more playoff experience than the Pistons, beat the Pistons in those later rounds of the playoffs. So it's extra important for Detroit to have everybody there. I think Isaiah Stewart is hurt too.
Yeah.
Our boy Beef Stew.
Beef Stew.
Who apparently owns a fig farm in California. I learned that this week.
Really?
Yeah, in the off season, he's farming out here in the Central Valley.
I wonder how profitable that is to
I don't
own
know.
a fig farm.
Yeah, but he runs a fig farm.
Actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so anyways, Beef Stew, he's been hurt. He's out on the farm. Cade Cunningham is gone, and they're going to need both of those guys if they're going to go on a run, especially because it looks like they might have the Hornets in the first round of the playoffs.
And I'm telling you, Concanipple and those Hornets, man.
Buzz.
They're buzzing. They're absolutely buzzing. This one was interesting. So we've talked about, and I'm sure Sacramento Kings fans are probably smirking a little bit at this headline. We've spoke about how LeBron James is kind of taken on that third tier role with the Lakers recently, and they've found success with Luka, with Austin Reeves, and then with LeBron kind of taking a little bit more of a minor role and playing a role in terms of what the Lakers are right now. And they were on a run, man. They were on a heater. And then we see what happens with Luka. He's going to Europe to try to get treatment on his hamstring to see if he can be back for a run. There's a lot of advancement over there when it comes to European, medical care. And so that's probably why he's going up there, to see if he can speed up his recovery. But now Austin Reeves is out 4 to 6 weeks with an oblique injury. So the Lakers, just when they were getting hot and feeling good about themselves, it's like they're brought down to earth a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, their entire season seems to be kind of falling apart. But hey, when they needed him most, LeBron James, who was mailing it in earlier this season, is going to have to come back and carry the Lakers with 40-point performances in the playoffs.
Because last night, it was clearly, LeBron was doing as much as he could. But let's be honest, the reason why they've found recent success is because he more so took a little bit more of a backseat role and let the stars right now, who are your younger stars and your future stars, to kind of take over. And so I'm with you, Kyle. I think unless you can get these guys back pronto, I think the Lakers' lust, for a title or a deep playoff run are pretty much put on hold.
I do feel bad for Luka because I know he's going to play through this. Like, this is an injury that probably should end his season.
Yeah.
And he's going to try and play through it because of all the stuff about when he got traded, he doesn't stay in good shape and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that with his body. I know he's going to try and prove a point to people by playing through this injury. But like, if you saw him in that last game he played, I mean, he was just like grabbing at the hamstring, grabbing.
That's tough.
And look, he's going to probably try and play through this. He's going to go to Europe and get special treatment to try and be good enough to play, but he's going to try and push through it, even though he probably shouldn't. At least with Austin Reeves, they were like, hey man, it's 4 to 6 weeks. We probably ain't going to see him again unless the Lakers can somehow win a playoff series with no Luka or hobbled Luka and LeBron.
Well, we're going to go to break, but I did want to mention that Joker locks in, averaging a season-long triple-double for the second season in a row. That, to me, is mind-blowing. The Joker is the Joker. Love him or hate him. This guy is incredible to watch and incredible to see what he's doing. Denver's interesting. Aaron Gordon back, my guy, Aaron Gordon.
Your dream husband.
My dream husband. No, I'm just joking. Richie, I know our PD is probably very excited. I just said that, Denver's back in the mix. But
well, he's right behind me.
I know he is. I can see him. But it is interesting, and you got to give him a lot of credit because just when you look at the man and you see what he does, it's just like, okay, hats off. So interesting look around the NBA weekend. That is that. But I also want to let you know we're going to talk a little football. That's right. We're not going to go unfootball phased here on the Matt and Kayla Show. My 2-minute drill is coming up next. It's the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
Buying golf gear is easy. Buying the right golf gear, well, that's different. At Hagen Oaks, they don't just sell equipment, they fit your entire game. With TrackMan technology in the Player Performance Studio, your clubs are matched to your swing. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball that performs best for you. Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio dials in your stroke, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds correct shoe size for your feet. It's a smarter way to play better golf. Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Nova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. And Nova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InnovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Nova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Sacramento! Now you got a place for all things dance.
The all-new Energy 100.5 HD2.
Where dance music lives. Dance vibes anytime and any place when you get the free Now 100.5 app.
Or listen at 100.5 HD2.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
It's time for the 2-minute drill. Kayla Anderson has the ball, and she's taking us around the world of football. It's Kayla's 2-minute drill on Matt and Kayla.
Oh, it's that time. Talked a lot of hoops today, and we'll continue to talk some hoops coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. We got the big national championship game today, UConn versus Michigan. And then we've got to talk about the whole situation. Gino, Ariema, and Don Staley. Man, it is like a feud of the century, and I feel bad for the Lady UCLA Bruins because they kind of had all their excitement and fame put on them. It was taken away and overshadowed by this whole feud.
I will say, even though that's the game and sports media talk and all that stuff, I will give Dawn Staley a lot of credit because she was asked about Gino in the postgame, and she was like, I don't have any comments right now. I'm not going to overshadow the game.
No, and that's because Dawn's a GOAT. Like, Dawn's awesome. Like, I'm all on Dawn's side on this, and we'll get into that. Maybe you guys can pick a side when it comes to are you on Gino or Dawn's side. You know, wasn't in our pick a side segment.
Oh, no, we couldn't do that in just 2 minutes.
No, this is a segment for itself. But right now, it's about the 2-minute drill. That is right. And this was actually pretty funny. So, Action Jackson. Lamar Jackson has really not participated in many volunteer workouts recently. He did not attend 8 of 9 voluntary on-field practices before mandatory mini camps in 2025. And today, for the first time in like 2 years, he's back. He is back for voluntary workouts. They did a whole thing this morning, the Ravens media team did, with him walking in to, the team facility. They've already put out clips of Lamar throwing the football. Also, Derrick Henry, who I covered for 8 years with the Titans, who did not do voluntary workouts. He's there, as well as their new pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson.
Max Crosby,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Max is
not
not there. That's right. They rescinded on their trade.
But hey, they still got the 14th pick.
Yes, they do. So it was interesting that, Lamar Jackson is at voluntary workouts. And I ask, do you think it's a big deal? And I know some people are thinking this is blown out of proportion. Who cares? But Lamar has had a little bit of difficulty, getting on the same page from the jump. Like we always see him do well once the season gets started. I think it's a good thing he's there, and I don't think we should overlook the fact that he's actually participating this year. New coach, by the way.
That was my thought.
Yeah?
Is it because there's a new coach, they're implementing a new program that, Lamar and the veteran guys want to be there?
Yeah.
I guess good on them. I've never understood the whole thing with the voluntary mini camps versus OTAs versus mini camps. Like there's so many the rookie mini camps. Like there's so many different things that I don't know which one is important for them to go to and which aren't.
I always think about it like this: if you are a player that has been with the organization for a while, and you're really, really set on, this is my routine, I work out with someone during the off season. Usually the organization does not frown upon that. Like, again, for example, Derrick Henry was like that. Tom Brady was like that, where towards the back part of his career, he had his guys and he didn't come to voluntary workouts. I think it's really important for free agents, new free agent signs. Clearly the rookies have to go once mandatory mini camp hits for them, or rookie mini camp, and then they're there from there on out. I think it's just good if you have newness, like in your organization.
Yeah.
New head coach, any of that.
That seems kind of to be the vibe that I'm getting from it, because there's so many things. And I remember years ago, like people were doing contract holdouts and OTAs became a point of conversation. Some teams were just canceling OTAs. Yep. So, like, I don't know. I've never been able to figure out which ones are the most important ones and which aren't. But I feel like that's a good one. If there's newness in your organization, it's good to have those days.
Exactly. Just make it simple by saying that. All right, walking into cash. I'm talking about Jags defensive end Trayvon Walker. He agreed to a 4-year, $110 million extension. What I love about this, listeners, Kyle, is that Walker was their top pick in 2022, and he has done his job. So they drafted this young man. He was a top pick for them. He is not disappointed. 27 and a half sacks over 4 seasons in the league. So he's going to earn $27.5 million per year on a deal. He has $77 million in total guarantees, and then 50 of that is guaranteed. I love this too because Walker came on record after signing this new extension, and he pretty much said that he just has worked really hard to try to get the second contract. He used the whole Aaron Darnold situation and how he took his game to a next level. Like he used him as kind of a mentor and a goal to get to that level. I love it. I love when teams can hit on a draft pick and sign them to an extension. And you'd be surprised on a lot of these guys don't get signed second contracts.
Yeah, and I felt really good for him when I saw the news because I remember that draft, he was like a surprise number 1 pick.
Yes, he was.
It was like, oh, wow, the Jaguars just took Trayvon Walker with the first pick. People thought he was going to be like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And the picks after him, I remember, were pretty good. I think that was Aiden Hutchinson. I think Sauce Gardner was in that draft class. Like there were some start. Derek Stingley was in that draft class.
Was, yeah.
So there were some bona fide stars that went right after him.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have felt really bad for him if he had been given this negative connotation just because of where he was picked in the draft.
Right.
But he got his second contract. It seems to be working out great with Josh Hines Allen and him. Mm-hmm. So great for him. I'm glad that it worked out for him because he could have been, people still to this day bag on Marvin Bagley's and Anthony Bennett's and guys who through no fault of their own were the top picks in the draft and didn't live up to maybe a guy that was picked right after
It's
him.
more so that than it is the latter in terms of a lot of the times they just don't end up living up to it. We've seen it with so many quarterbacks in the NFL. They're probably the biggest position of failure. Whether you blame that on the organization or not, the development happening, it happens more than you think. And I loved it too, just because he goes on about how he just has done his due diligence of making it in terms of what he's been able to do on the field. Like it's habits, it's doing the right things, it's staying, out of the media limelight off the field. So he's done everything it takes. So congratulations to him on that new extension with the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, Lawrence leaving. We talk about defense. And the Giants are not going to have one of their guys back, or so it seems. So the New York Giants defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence is requesting a trade. He will not participate in the team's offseason workout program that begins tomorrow. They've obviously been going through 2 seasons of off seasons attempting to negotiate a contract that would reflect his value and what he's done for the team. Unfortunately, 2 years remaining on his deal, scheduled to make about $20 million in his rest of his contract. I'm just wondering, like, what happens with this? It's one thing to request a trade, it's another thing to get it done. And then it always amounts to some awkwardness within the organization. The Giants, they're like starting anew. They've got John Harbaugh there. Like, they got the young quarterback and Jackson Dart. Scattaboo. Sacramento's own is over there. And
Malik Neighbors.
You're always going to have some drama with the Giants, though.
Yeah. The Dexter Lawrence thing is so interesting because he's really, really good at football.
Yeah, he is 28, by the way, so not super old yet.
This is his third contract.
Yeah.
But he also plays a position that has been devalued over the years in terms of the nose tackle.
That's true.
Like, people want either the defensive tackles that can rotate from the edge to the interior, or they want a traditional, like, outside pass rusher. And Dexter Lawrence has done some of that in his career. To be fair, I didn't watch any Giants football last year. But because he's a traditional nose tackle, those guys don't get the record-setting $40 million contracts just because that position is devalued and you're mostly just hitting centers. So that's probably why it's taken so long. I would assume just from a 10 feet or 14th story view looking at the situation. But I mean, yeah, he's really, really good at football. I think he's been a Pro Bowler like 4 times or something like that.
Yeah, he's been impressive. That is for sure. That is your 2-minute drill. And we're not done yet because we've got a full hour to go before Crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles. Excited to see how their weekend fared and what they were up to, because I know it was a busy weekend for all of us. But coming up next, UConn and Michigan tonight for all the marbles for the championship. What can we expect out of that one? And then the feud. The feud on the women's side. What is going on with Gino Auriemma and Dawn Staley? Whose side are you on? That and much more as we come up on the final hour of the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Sacramento Electronic Supply Company, on the eve of America's 250th anniversary, this July 4th, salutes our greatest heroes, the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, who have dedicated and sacrificed to protect our nation through their courage and valor. This message, courtesy of Sacramento Electronic Supply Company, located at 114270 Sunrise Gold Circle in Rancho Cordova, serving Sacramento over 80 years. Distributors of Datacom, telecom security products, and industrial electronic parts and components.
Growing your business? It's all about having the right team on the court. At Bank of Marin, we partner with businesses in the greater Sacramento area, delivering personalized service and local expertise to help you make a slam dunk. Whether it's customized lending or solutions to keep your business growing, you'll benefit from local decision-making, expanding, acquiring additional assets, or building a lasting banking relationship. We're ready for tip-off. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Spring is in the air, and Aleve long-lasting pain relief is here to keep you moving. The days are longer and the flowers are blooming. Whether it's gardening, yard work, or just spending more time outdoors, spring is a way of getting us moving despite any body pain. That's where Aleve can keep you going. With just one dose, Aleve gives you long-lasting body pain relief for up to 12 hours. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITVFest.com.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome into the final hour of the Matt and Kayla Show here on Sactown Sports. Thanks for joining us today. We've got the Drive guys coming up in about an hour. Matt is out today. He'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to Kyle Ledbetter for helping me hold it down today. And we got some college basketball to talk about because we've got a big game tonight. It's the national championship. It's so crazy to me that just a few weeks ago, we were so excited that March Madness had arrived. It was March, we had our brackets that we had all filled out. I never forget, every weekend, it's that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the opening of the tournament. And it's so much excitement, and you've got game after game, and sometimes you're trying to balance games. I don't know if it's just me, but I get to the Final Four, and while I'm still invested because I love college basketball and I love March Madness, by the time we get to the national championship game on the Monday, I've kind of lost all my joy of the tournament. And it's kind of like, man, we're just down to 2 now. It's a national championship, I get it, but I want that high of being the first weekend of March Madness and having to juggle games and looking at my bracket every 2 seconds. I don't know if I'm the weirdo for feeling that, and now I feel like I'm kind of like it's just all been sucked out of me, like the air is just deflated.
Yeah, I feel like that's how it tends to go with March Madness, is that their Super Bowl, weirdly enough, is the first round of the tournament.
I know, right?
It's kind of weird how the sport works. Like it's not like NASCAR where it's like their Super Bowl is opening day with the Daytona 500, but it's like your Super Bowl is in the middle of your postseason tournament, which it's very confusing. But yes, normally the national championship game doesn't have the same luster or excitement around it as it does normally. Also, it starts at 6 p.m. Why are we starting it at 6 p.m.? I don't understand.
You know what's crazy, though, is you guys being here on the West Coast, you guys are like getting games so much earlier. I remember being in the South and having, that was even Central Time. It wasn't even Eastern, but we're 2 hours behind, let's say, in Nashville. To be able to stay up for some of those games, because I did a morning show. So I got up at 4 a.m. and the morning show started at 6. I am loving some of this early stuff now. I'm like, 6 p.m. a game for national championship? All right, and I can be in bed by 9. Let's go.
But like, we don't start anything at 6 p.m. local time. What? Why is it only the college basketball national championship? They start at 6 p.m. West Coast time.
It is interesting.
9 p.m. East Coast time.
I know. It's for some reason that's the one that kind of breaks all the barriers with times.
Yeah, I guess so. But yes, I'm with you. Usually it's down. Whatever. I can't even remember whoever won it 4 years ago.
Kyle, you're best. It's so funny how the national championships in college basketball, for some reason, they all blend together for me.
Whatever year it was after Gonzaga, when they hit that crazy half-court shot against UCLA and then they lost to Baylor. Whoever it was the year after that, couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you what that championship game was. But ever since then, it's just been UConn, and then last year we had the classic game between Florida and Houston, and it came down to the end. But like, unless there's marquee names or a close game, these championship games do kind of blend together.
Well, you said the San Diego State that year. I think that was one of the weirdest years we've seen in March Madness. Unfortunately, like, I'm one of those people that I'm like, do I have to see this program again? Do I have to see another blue blood? Unfortunately, those are the ones that get the best ratings. When you don't have any blue bloods in the mix or big programs in the mix, the ratings just aren't good. And I remember that year in particular, it was San Diego State and...
It was San Diego State and Florida Atlantic.
Yes.
Because I remember San Diego State beat them on a buzzer beater.
And the ratings were just really bad that year.
Yeah, I think like Miami made it to the final
too.
Miami. Yeah.
It was Miami, which you would think powerhouse like football back in the day and kind of being relevant now, but not think, basketball.
I think they were like a 10 seed too. So it was like they were a Cinderella that year. But yeah, like, again, I remember those couple years because of San Diego State going on that run, and for the reference, my grandparents went to San Diego State. I grew up like 10 minutes away from that campus, so like that was cool. But if not for that, I probably would not remember who did UConn beat 2 years ago in the championship game. I don't remember. I just know UConn won the championship.
Now I'm going to look up a list real quick.
By the way, I just remember 2022 was Kansas.
22 was Kansas.
Yes, Kansas was the team I couldn't remember who won the championship.
Okay. So when it comes to Dan Hurley, you look up the last 4 NCAA tournaments. I'm curious if we can get this right. When it comes to Dan Hurley, though, in all seriousness, you can take a side on what you feel about him. He's a polarizing figure, no doubt about it. But the kids that come and play for him, the young men that come and play for him in his program, know what they're getting themselves into. They know that they're coming to play for a coach that has it his way and probably doesn't want it any other way, who's a little bit tough, at least on the exterior we see, who I'm sure there's a lot of good things when you get to know Dan Hurley, the man. There's a lot of good things about him. He is more of a old school minded type of coach. He talked about that earlier on in the tournament where tough love is a part of it. Learning from mistakes is a part of becoming a great player. Now I could say he might be one of the best coaches altogether, at least in the modern era of college basketball.
I mean, if they win the championship tonight, that'll be 3 UConn titles in 4 years, which I had to look it up. The last time a team won 3 in 4 years was John Wooden and UCLA.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah, like 50 plus years ago was the last time someone won 3 titles in 4 years.
That's quite a feat.
And look, when we think of the college basketball coach, we talked about this, who's the best coach in college basketball? And we instinctively went to the older guys, the Bill Selfs, the Roy Williams, the Mike Krzyzewskis. There's not a lot of like newer legacy coaches in college basketball. Few even is a legacy guy now.
He is, and he just got, congratulations, Mark Few. He just got inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
But what's crazy about Few too is like he doesn't have that natty to go along with it. So it just like he's still in my opinion, one of the greatest coaches in college basketball right now. But unfortunately, you do also tag like, what have you done for me in terms of winning a championship?
Yeah, and it was guys like Jay Wright, who's retired now, Tony Bennett, who's retired. Yep. They were the ones who won the championships. And it's like, in this modern group of coaches, it's like, it's Dan Hurley. I guess it's kind of becoming Todd Golden. It's Dusty May at Michigan. It's Tommy Lloyd. Like, you've got some guys, but of that group, there's no dispute. Like, Hurley is by far the most accomplished of the group. I mean, he might win his 3rd championship tonight, which, like, Roy Williams won 3 championships in his career, and Hurley might already get his 3rd.
Yeah. Let's give Michigan props where props are due, though. We've talked a lot about UConn. UConn is the underdog technically tonight. Michigan has really been a great team all season. Maybe it's just a Midwest team and we don't see them on a daily basis and they're not talked about as much as some of these other programs like UNC and Duke and Kansas. And we're not really talking about a lot of prospects that are coming out of Michigan this year, right? They don't have like a top prospect. So maybe that's why we haven't talked about them as much as a program. But dang, Dusty May has been doing some good work up there in Ann Arbor.
Dusty May's great.
He's great. And I know you've got a little bit of a side note here that I forgot about this, that he took Florida Atlantic to the Final Four in 2023.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
And I was like, boom, that completely had erased from my mind that he was the head coach there.
Yeah, no, he took Florida Atlantic to the Final Four.
That's huge.
I think they were a tournament team the year after, too. And then in year two, he takes Michigan to the championship, and they're favored tonight. Like, we'll see if they win or not, but like year 2 of the program, they're already at the national championship.
Those are the types of coaches, and Dan Hurley included in this, some of these guys that have clearly done stuff at other programs, got them to a certain level, because Dan Hurley's done this along his entire career. That's when you know a coach knows how to build a program and how to recruit the right guys or bring in the right guys. And Michigan's stacked with talent this year, too. They're the better team by far between UConn and Michigan tonight. But Dan Hurley is who he is as a coach. But now you're going up against a really good coach, too, and a lot of good talent. How will that fare?
Also, you have players on UConn, like not all of them, but you have players on UConn that have won multiple national championships in their career. Like this, they've already been.
It's that experience.
Yes, which, by the way, I looked it up. Apparently they beat Purdue in the national championship 2 years ago. UConn did.
Yes.
I remember now Zach Edey was carrying Purdue that season, but I completely forgot. If I hadn't looked it up, I wouldn't have been able to remember.
So give me the last 5 national championship winners, Kyle, because I refreshed my full memory here.
Okay, so I guess 2020 there was no tournament because of COVID. 2021 was Baylor over Gonzaga. That was
Don't remind me.
Which, by the way, I'll show you a photo of that. I was actually there for that.
Were you really?
Not the championship game, but the Jalen Suggs.
Oh, when he jumped on the table?
Yeah.
That was epic.
That's like one of the coolest sports moments I've ever had.
It's pretty epic.
Anyways, next year, Kansas beat North Carolina.
Yep, Blue Bloods.
The famous year that Duke and Carolina played in the Final Four, Coach K's last tournament.
That was pretty cool.
2023, UConn beat San Diego State in the national championship. So fun. That San Diego State run was awesome. 2024, UConn beat Purdue. UConn beat Purdue in the national championship, which was another blowout. And then last year, Florida beat Houston, which we remember just because of how crazy of a game it was and the guy dribbling out the ball at the end.
Yeah, so that goes to show you the dominance that we've seen from UConn. Who will it be tonight? We'll have to wait and see. Are you going with a side here? Because I picked Michigan in my ESPN bracket, so I'll go with Michigan.
Well, I've been doubting Michigan all tournament, so...
You going with Michigan?
I feel like they've made me eat my words enough, so I'll go Michigan.
You're going to go Michigan, too. We'll have to see who Matt takes. Because, again, we were all bounced from our predictions. We each took 4 teams, and none of us have teams left now.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the only 1 seed and the only 2 seed we didn't pick. I have a feeling Matt's going to be rooting for Michigan only because he had Duke winning the whole tournament,
right?
And UConn put them out.
Yep, he's not going to want UConn for sure.
If I know Matt, and I've gotten to know him a little bit over these 3 months, I would guess he's probably rooting for Michigan.
I think you might be right. We'll have to text him and get his answer. Okay. Let's talk about the big weekend news in terms of women's basketball. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to the UCLA women, because what they did this season under Corey Close is quite impressive. Corey Close has been in the game coaching for a long time. speaking of John Wooden, one of the greatest coaches of all time on the hardwood, that was actually a mentor of hers. And, when Wooden was alive and they would talk with each other about basketball, and she carries on a similar strategy as a coach and how she builds her program. And it is so encouraging to see someone like that who exemplifies the right way to do things win a national championship. And they really, when it's all said and done, kind of buried South Carolina. And Dawn Staley is one of my favorite women's coaches. And they took it to the Gamecocks. And I don't know if it has anything to do with maybe a position South Carolina was in after all of this Gino Auriemma, bull crap that happened. And maybe there was a lot going through the minds of those players and there was a lot of distraction. I don't want to make excuses for them because UCLA did what they needed to do. But I know Dawn Staley and her team were probably devastated with the product they put out there in the national championship game yesterday. But congrats to UCLA and Corey Close for getting it done. Again, an older, more veteran-led team that knows how to be in those moments. And in that moment, they got the job done.
And like we talked about earlier, this is not some legacy program. This is not some college basketball powerhouse. Like UCLA women had never made it this far in the tournament. And we think of UCLA as this basketball power, but that athletic department is not what people think it is.
No.
I mean, they've had
not at all.
No, I mean they were talking about cutting sports because they did not have the budget.
They left the Pac-12 with USC because they had to get money.
Yes, they were filing for bankruptcy.
Exactly.
Like the program was not that. And the fact that they were able to win it, not just like get to the championship and do all that, but they did it with a lot of players that had been there 5 years. Like the entire team was seniors. Some of them were transfers, but the main stars like Gabriela Jaquez and Lauren Betts were people who were freshmen at UCLA and then were seniors at UCLA, and they won a championship in their senior year. And I know like that those are the type of stories that I feel like we get excited for in sports. And it's good that players can transfer. It's good they can get NIL money, and Lauren Betts is in all these commercials and stuff like that. But it is cool to see like a 5-year journey of like this program was kind of in the middle of the road, made it to the Sweet 16 every now and again, maybe an Elite 8, and then by the end, they got to the Final Four in the championship.
Hey, and maybe, luck plays into it. You all know luck plays into things, whether it's life or whether it's sports. Luck certainly plays into it. I did not get any luck yesterday on the scratch tickets that I had. Unfortunately, I was thinking maybe, get a little luck on this Easter Sunday. That did not happen. But maybe luck played into it with UConn and South Carolina. One of those programs was canceled out in terms of the final championship game. You don't have both of those teams playing because in the Final Four, Dawn Staley's Gamecocks took it to UConn and knocked off UConn. And we all know the great program Gino Auriemma has built there. However, I really, truly feel like he didn't necessarily turn heads in like what happened, because Gino's kind of been known for being a bully in the women's game.
Well, it was always him versus Pat Summitt.
Remember Pat Summitt? And we talked about this endlessly in the Tennessee market. They hate Gino there because of the Pat Summitt-Gino rivalry. It always amazes me, like, is that a real thing? Does Gino love the villain personality? Does he truly take that on and run with it? Because he's still running with it to this day, just with a different SEC coach and Dawn Staley. And so before the game, the two did not shake hands in the pregame. And the game happened how it happened. He had issues with the refs and some of the calls. Go cry me a river, Gino. I don't give a you-know-what. However, after the game, he made it a huge scene in the handshake lineup to go up to Dawn Staley, clearly was calling her out and making a scene. And then this all blew up into an entire thing that we've seen play out over the weekend. And Gino said this about why he had an issue with Dawn Staley.
The protocol is before the game, you meet at half court. Two coaches meet at half court and they shake hands. They announce it on the loudspeaker. And I waited there for like 3 minutes. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Gino, don't tell me that you've done protocol your entire career in a moment where, I'm sorry, it's the Final Four, things are happening, Dawn's with her team, and you're meaning to tell me that you sat there and just were waiting on Dawn Staley. And if she didn't come up purposely to shake your hand, that you have this big of an issue with it, and then you're going to go out of your way after the game that you lost because you're a poor loser, and you're going to call her out in front of national TV after she just won a Final Four game and advanced to the championship, and embarrass her. You're embarrassing yourself, first of all. But then you took everything away this weekend, what should have been focused on the national championship, and you made it about you, not your team. You made it about you, Gino. It seriously frustrates me that he's still trying to play this villain role when things don't go his way, when his team doesn't win.
You know, the Gino Auriemma conversation for so many years has been about how he's kind of like transcended the sport almost in a certain sense. And yet it always comes back to, yeah, but he's kind of a poor sport and he has a bad attitude. Like over the years, this has happened 4 or 5 different times. And I think specifically the fact that it was Dawn, who people kind of like know her character at this point, and she's constantly gone out of her way to talk about like, hey, this is women's sports and it needs to be done in a particular way that shows women this is what the culture should be around this sport, versus Gino, who obviously has promoted women's sports a lot,
Sure,
but is also a man in a position of power in women's sports who constantly has an attitude and is constantly fighting with other coaches and other players in the sport. Not all the time, but it feels like every few years there's some sort of story like this.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting dichotomy because Gino himself is so important to this sport.
He's huge, and he's brought it to a level where it is, along with Pat Summitt and now people like Dawn Staley. Yeah.
And stuff like this always seems to come back around with Gino. It's such a fascinating story to follow.
It really is, and it did continue, unfortunately, throughout the weekend, where it did overshadow, I felt like, what was supposed to be about South Carolina and UCLA. And Dawn, after the game, after her loss to UCLA yesterday, being the Dawn Staley, the just pro she is, she talked about the situation after the game, did not specifically go into Gino, but this is what she had to say.
Look, I'm always happy for people who worked hard, in this game, who are really quality people. I want good things to happen for them. And Corey is one of those people who really works at making our game better. Not just UCLA, but our entire game. She's always speaking out and uplifting our game in so many areas that it's hard to continue to do that while maintaining the job that you have to do every day, but she finds the time. So, although we didn't win, I could swallow it because we lost to a really good human being and a good team that represent women's basketball well.
I truly believe she believes everything she just said. I mean, she's not up there BSing. Like, Dawn truly believes, Corey Close, head coach of UCLA, has put in the time. She's done it the right way, like I mentioned. Somebody who studied under John Wooden. And I think Dawn is truly happy for her. Would she have loved to have another national championship? Absolutely. Would she have loved for it to be a better game? Like, they got kind of waxed by UCLA. Yes, she would have. It does make me think how much all of this drama with Gino Auriemma and UConn played into this game. I hope it didn't. But she took the higher road. I know some thought maybe that was a slight at Gino, saying she's a good human being. No, I just truly feel like that's what she thinks about somebody like Corey Close and her team winning the national championship. It goes on then that Gino ends up apologizing via a statement. But I don't know if you have the statement, Kyle, but in the statement, what is missing from the entire statement that he goes out of his way to supposedly apologize is he never mentions Dawn Staley. He mentions the coaching staff, but in this apology, he does not bring up Dawn Staley, which I find very weird.
Okay, so here's the full statement. There's no excuse for how I handled the end of the game versus South Carolina. It's unlike what I do and what our standard is here at Connecticut. I want to apologize to the staff and the team at South Carolina. It was uncalled for in how I reacted. The story should be how well South Carolina played, and I don't want my actions to detract from that. I've had a great relationship with their staff, and I sincerely want to apologize to them.
Their staff, the team. Say Dawn Staley's name. What, you have a problem with that, Gino?
This is kind of the exact specific point with this story, too, because, like, there's a difference between Dawn Staley in the moment saying, I'm not going to take away from UCLA and what they did, versus Gino having to go back and retroactively do damage control because he's already taken away from what South Carolina did. And I understand that, like, there is a difference here between it being women's sports and men's sports, because Dawn Staley and some of these coaches make it a point, like, we are trying to uplift our game while also trying to coach these kids. It is extra important to make it not about you.
Not about you.
Because you have people's interest for only such a short period of time.
That's an incredible point, Kyle. And I think, unfortunately, it's like a two-headed snake, I guess, because the coaches have meant so much to women's basketball, especially the college game. They have been entertaining. They have been influential to bring these programs to where they are, to bring these women to where they are. But at the same time, sometimes they get in the way of the actual games and the players.
Yeah, and the sport is just at a point where it's important, where the game itself is just as important as the championships themselves or the teams themselves and things like that. Like, I remember having the same conversation years ago with the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese stuff, which is people are going to talk about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and it's going to be good for women's basketball. But as soon as Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese go away, where are the next storylines? And there was Juju Watkins and Paige Beckers for a moment, but where are the people who are getting into the sport itself?
Yeah.
And that could have been this weekend. Obviously,
unfortunately, it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and by the way, Angel Reese, congrats to her, just got traded to the Atlanta Dream from Chicago, so she is now with the Dream.
Oh, Atlanta's going to love her.
They will love her. She is a great personality, and look, like her or hate her, whatever, she is good for the women's game, and of course, the WNBA also continues to grow. I did want to say, I thought it was interesting because I remember Sacramento just hosted the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, and guess what? 2 teams were in Sacramento.
Is that UCLA?
UCLA and South Carolina. And who went on to the Final Four in the championship game?
UCLA.
Call it Sacramento luck, huh?
You know, I went to the South Carolina Elite Eight game, and let me tell you, the roar of the crowd when they introduced Dawn Staley was louder than anything got the entire game.
Well, she loved it here. She said that Sacramento did an incredible job hosting, and we would love to have Dawn Staley back anytime when Sacramento wins Sacramento. That's right, when Sacramento hosts in the future. All right, coming up on the Matt and Kayla Show, MLB mini-season drama. What is going on with our MLB mini seasons after this weekend? Because I've got a bone to pick if I don't win this. I've got a big bone to pick if I do not get this weekend because of a technicality. We'll have that, much more. We got Crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles. That's coming up on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices as a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by national trial lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at zaclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
Switchfoot Live. Friday, April 24th, 7 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. With Fuel and Lit and Thomas Ian Nicholas. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. One incredible night with Switchfoot, Fuel, and Lit together live.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Running a business takes grit, vision, and a partner who believes in your success as much as you do. At Valley Strong Credit Union, business banking is built around you. The entrepreneurs, the growers, the dreamers powering our community. Whether you need flexible checking, faster payments, or financing to take your next big step, Valley Strong brings local expertise and real relationships to every stage of your business. Because when local businesses thrive, the whole valley grows stronger. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your business, grow your future. ValleyStrong.com/business.
Your Toyota's been through a lot with you. Traffic, rain, potholes, you name it. But it keeps showing up mile after mile. So maybe it's time to give a little back. For a limited time at your local Toyota dealer, get 3 new tires and get the 4th for $1. Because a ride that's always there for you deserves to be taken care of. 3 tires, get the 4th for $1? Go on. Treat your Toyota. Deal ends April 30th. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Restrictions apply. Toyota and Scion vehicles only. See participating Toyota dealers for details.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into the Matt and Kayla Show. Getting close to wrapping up the show. We've got the Drive guys coming up in Crosstalk in just about 10 minutes. Also, some news here from Mike Miyoko of NBC Sports. Looks like Trent Williams not expected to be in attendance for the 49ers offseason program. That's going to start up on April 20th. Again, they are trying to work out an extension. So other than that, Matt expects a large percentage of players to report for the program. But again, Trent Williams, their star at left tackle, not expected to be in attendance. Let's talk a little baseball, shall we? And we have had our MLB mini season going on here for the last, just a second.
No, hold on.
No. I can touch it. It's not like the Stanley Cup where it's bad luck. All right?
Oh, I understand.
None of that yet.
But that might not be your trophy.
This right now, for the second week, is going to go to someone.
Oh, okay.
Matt lifted up the trophy for the first time last week as he won our first week of MLB mini season. However, I feel like we might have a new champ this week. Now, it might not be me. Kyle Zackley is exactly right. But we had a weird week when it came to our games.
Boy, this game just gets more and more confusing.
We keep on adding on to it. We think it's basic, and then it ends up not being basic.
Okay, I'm going to try and explain this to people here right now.
Please do. Please do.
We originally picked 5 teams for the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Kayla, you did not have a team for Thursday because none of your available teams were still playing. And so even though Matt and I drafted our teams in anticipation of this happening. We were like, okay, first full week, it's fine. You'll just pick a team for Saturday. Right? So you get one team Friday, one team Saturday. So the team you picked on Friday was the Milwaukee Brewers, who were playing the Kansas City Royals.
Yes.
That game got rained out. So it got moved to Saturday.
Of course it did.
So they did make up the game, but then you had 2 games on Saturday.
But the first game, which is the makeup game, is the one they won.
This is where we have debates. So anyways.
There is no debate.
At this point, you're 0-3. So in my mind, I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But on Friday, Matt's Pirates won 5-4.
Okay.
My Astros lost 11-4 against the Athletics at Sutter Health Park.
Pretty bad.
That's what I get for being a hater.
Yeah.
And both of your teams won air quotes, on Saturday.
We won.
Here's the thing, though. The makeup game itself was technically the second game because the first game was already scheduled for 11 o'clock in the calendar.
But who says specifically?
All I'm saying is if you look at MLB.com, it says Game 2 makeup. Because technically the first game was already scheduled. But you are correct. Normally, we would just kick your prediction down to the first game of the doubleheader. Or we now have to make up a new rule for this, which there's already too many rules.
Okay, so yeah, that's look. I'll be the better sport. I'm not going to be Gino Ariema in this this position, since it technically said Game 2 was the postponed game, and I lost that game.
But here's the thing. The way that the standings broke down, if we give you the win on Saturday, all three of us finished 2-3 on the week. Which means it goes
to a mess.
What an insane game this is. I wish Matt was here to try and sort this out for us.
I know, and I want to know his thoughts on who it should go to.
So, if we give you the loss, then you would be 1-4. And Matt and I would be 2-3.
Right.
And in a tiebreaker, which we've decided is run differential, my run differential for the week was -15. Matt's run differential was -11. So Matt would win in that hypothetical scenario, defend his trophy.
That can't happen.
But if we give you the win, all three of us would be tied at 2-3.
Okay.
And your run differential is -5.
Let's go!
So you would win.
Yeah.
If we give you the victory for
Saturday.
Saturday.
Put it to a vote.
But if we don't, then Matt wins. So I feel like it's Matt's game, but I feel like democracy wins in this situation. I want to vote for you get the win.
Woo-wee!
Do you want to vote for you get the win?
I want to win.
I feel like democracy wins out. Kayla, you are the week 2 winner of our Matt and Kayla trophy.
Let's go. I'm holding up this beautiful trophy that Matt so graciously bought for us.
If anyone listening right now had to pull over on the side of the road to try and make sense of what I'm talking about, just know it didn't have to be this way.
Hey, now Matt has won one. I've won one. So now Kyle.
And I blew a 2-game lead on the last 2 days of the week. All I had to do was just win one game. All I had to do was not lose both by 11 runs. I had the win and I blew it.
We got this week. So should we pick?
I think we decided we're going to pick, and then Matt will get the scraps of whatever is left.
But Matt did agree to this, correct?
Matt agreed to this. It was the simplest way instead of us trying to draft while the show was happening in real time. But I feel like we should save him a team or two. Also, we can't pick teams that we had last week. So, like, the Dodgers, that's on the table. Okay. Stuff like that.
Are we going with today? Are we going to do today?
So we got to pick our teams and then pick one for today. Who we want to win. And then we'll text Matt and see who he wants to pick for tonight.
Okay. So who's up first?
Well,
Kyle?
you're the defending champion, Kayla. I feel like you should get first dibs.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with the I'll go with the Los Angeles
Dodgers?
Angels? Sorry. I had Lakers in my head. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dodgers.
All right, and I think I had them last week, so that's fine. Okay. So my first pick, I'm obviously going to take the first place, one of the best teams in baseball, my Miami Marlins.
Oh, baby!
Yeah. Gotta take the Marlins,
Kyle's
baby.
Going back.
6-3. First place in the National League East. We are all about the fins up, baby.
Okay. I like it, Kyle.
So Miami Marlins are going to be my first pick, obviously. My boys, my beautiful Miami Marlins.
All right, I am going to go with, I don't know why I'm doing this. Maybe I need to give them some luck, some love, whatever you want to call it. I am going with my Seattle Mariners.
Oh, that's a good pick, Kayla. That's a good pick.
I feel like they need a little love, so I'm going to go ahead and go with my guys.
All right, well, I'm going to go back to the old well, just like I'm done. Who's playing the Rockies this week?
Oh, jeez.
Looks like the Astros. I can't pick the Astros because they let me down last week, so I can't take. Oh, guess who the Rockies play at the end of the week?
Who?
My San Diego Padres. That's my second team.
There you go.
Give me the Padres.
Yeah. By the way, your Padres, are you feeling some type of way? I know Whitey's back there too.
No, they're gonna be probably 500.
Okay.
But
all right.
Hey, they beat Boston.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Okay, for my next pick, I'm gonna go ahead and go with for the latter part of the week. I think I'm gonna go with the New York Mets.
Ooh, okay. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I have to see. So Matt picked him last week. So yes. we're fine.
Okay.
A lot of rules to this game. You know who I'm gonna take next? I'm gonna take the. Oh, wait, am I allowed? Yeah, I am allowed to take them. Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, geez, just because they're playing the Giants?
Yes, because they're playing the Giants.
Dang!
Well, and I know Logan Webb isn't going to pitch in any games either.
Okay.
So I'll take the Phillies with my third pick.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and go with, I'm looking later in the week. It's hard because you have to predict far out in these games. Give me... Man. You know what? Give me Boston. Give me Boston.
All right.
I'm going to put my belief that this streak can somewhat be broken in terms of poor showings here. So yeah, give me Boston.
So
they'll play St. Louis later on.
So remind me. So you have the Dodgers, the Mets, the Mariners, and the Red Sox, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And then I so far have the Marlins, the Padres, and the Phillies.
So one more each.
Well, I still need two more.
Oh, two more? Okay.
You know what, Kayla? I know you might take the Red Sox later in the week. I'll take the Milwaukee Brewers because they're playing the Red Sox this week. Okay. So I'll take Milwaukee.
Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and cap mine off with the other New York team. I'm going to take the Yankees.
Okay. Well, New York.
Yeah.
Well, the Mets and the Yankees, I think, play the A's this week. So I have a feeling you're going to be picking against the A's.
We'll see.
We'll see
how I feel.
Possible. It's possible. So you have the Dodgers, the Mets, the Mariners, the Red Sox, and the Yankees.
Yep.
I have the Marlins, the Padres, the Phillies, the Brewers.
One more for you.
Yep. My last pick. I don't have a team for today yet.
Oh yeah, we need to pick that real quick too.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to go off the board a little bit. I'm going to take the St. Louis Cardinals.
All right.
Because they're playing the Washington Nationals. So I'll take the Cardinals tonight against the Nationals.
I'm taking the Seattle Mariners against the Texas Rangers tonight.
All right. So tonight I've got the Cardinals over the Nationals. Kayla has got the Mariners over the Rangers, and we'll get Matt's picks later on.
We'll have them tomorrow. And when we come back, we wrap up the show. It is Crosstalk with the Drive Guys. Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles joining us in studio. That's next on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action, but please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
With Popeye's new $6 Faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back to the Matt and Kayla Show. We're wrapping things up today with the Drive Guys. Hi, guys.
Hey, where's that other guy? I forget his name. But aren't you? Because you're usually there.
I'm over here.
And this guy.
Mr. Matt George is right here usually.
Usually, yes.
Yes, and he will be back tomorrow.
Okay.
But he's not in today, so I can't even believe the show's over with, to tell you the truth. I was like,
blur?
It was kind of a blur.
Yeah.
When you do something for the first time, like on a new show, you don't think about it. It just kind of goes, which is a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good job. Reflex.
Yeah. We missed you, Matt, today, but hopefully I did a good enough job holding down the fort.
No,
so.
you smashed it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely smashed it. Drove one down left field line off the base of the wall. That's right.
That's right.
Like a smash burger.
Ooh, I love smash burgers, by the way.
Oh, I do too.
Ooh, have you had the Sonic one?
No, but
it's cheap, but it's good.
But every time, I the only Sonic that I've gone to, it's the one when I'm either leaving Napa
going into Napa or leaving Napa. That's the only one. Is there one out here?
There's one in Delta Shores.
Oh, so there's not a lot of Sonics out here.
I don't think so.
They were like everywhere back in my home base.
Yeah, where is your home base?
Well, my home base is actually Spokane, Washington.
Oh.
But I came from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
There are 4 Sonics in the Sacramento area.
So not a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's one in Roseville, Rockland, Delta Shores, and Woodland.
So nothing really around this area.
Yeah.
So
we'll get out there.
By the way, I want to take back what I said. I said you smashed it off the wall today. No, you hit a home run. What am I talking about? You hit a home
what are
run.
you talking about?
Thank you. Thank you. I got it over the wall.
That's right. Launch angle.
Exactly.
Great launch angle today.
Which is easy to do in Sutter Park. Because obviously we've seen the A's, and this weekend was a good weekend for baseball. Did you guys get out to any games at all?
Grand segue, Kayla.
Because I got out. Have you not heard that one?
I had not.
Yeah, that's a
grand segue, Kayla.
One of my new ones. I got out to a Kings game on Friday, and then got to see the fireworks from the A's win afterwards.
Big Friday. It was
Dude,
a
it was
big Friday
fun.
in Sacramento.
You know what was really interesting to me? See what you guys think of this. Friday the A's had that big win, home opener, and then the next day they lost 11-0, and the skipper wasn't happy. And I thought, just listening to him, just my opinion, I thought he was a little miffed because we had fun last night on a Friday night, and then we come in the next day, we weren't ready to play. It's a young team, and they just came out the next day like,
You think they were, out in K Street?
I don't know, but I thought that was a
Could
skipper
be.
who's been, a veteran player, and he was like, yeah, we didn't come out ready to play today.
And then they won, in
they
a
came
walk-off
back
fashion
yesterday.
yesterday.
You think there was a little Mark DeRosa World Baseball Classic?
I don't know.
Guys were dragging.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's not usually that hard on them. Obviously, that was a bad loss, but still, he was not happy.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, we all know baseball players. They like to have a little fun every now
Oh,
and then.
really?
Yeah.
I
mean,
never heard that one.
I'm sure this guy could talk about that firsthand.
No, a lot of studying and
right.
Just making sure we're up on all of the all the class work.
The ACE and exams and everything.
That's right.
Student athlete, yeah. From what I've heard, it's tough. It's not easy.
It's not.
Was it tough watching that game on Friday and seeing the Kings win and hurting their draft position even more? Look, I'll admit, I got caught up in the moment, guys. I had my nephews there.
That's right.
My family was there. The young guys are the ones that really finished it off for the Kings and the victory that they got over the Pelicans. So I got lost in the win part of it, even though I know they should be tanking.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know.
Yeah, and the only thing I'll say about it, because we're going to obviously spend 4 hours talking about that among other things. The only thing I'll say about it is it wasn't about Friday. It was about, we saw this coming. I've been talking about the month of March and April all season long, from when we thought maybe it would help the Kings before we knew they were going to be in the tank conversation. So it wasn't about Friday. It was about all the other games where they felt like they were going to run the vets when they still had more guys on the court. They were going to run them 40 minutes. So to me, the damage has already been done.
Yeah.
Whitey, I told you, I was surprised every time the Kings lost to the Pelicans. Then when we saw the injury report, ooh, man, this might be a little bit dicey, and it was.
I think one thing we didn't realize at the time was when they were unable to move some of the veterans at the deadline. And I understand you don't want to take pennies on the dollar, but that made it really hard to tank as hard as some of the other teams did.
Yeah.
You just had even though they shut some guys down, it was still difficult to keep up with some of those teams who were putting G League lineups out there.
Right. If you flip it, right, and they had the beginning of the season, they had OKC a couple times. They had Denver 3 times.
I remember that
They had
tough
Minnesota
schedule.
3 times. If you ended that, then these aren't conversations because you're losing those games.
Very true.
But to what Whitey said, and then to add in the schedule, what are you going to do? So to answer your question, it didn't hurt me because honestly, the damage was already done.
And Dylan Cardwell was great.
Oh my goodness. He's been coming back from the injury, it took him a minute to kind of get back into that pace and being ready to play back, on the court. But he's been good. He's been fun. He's been scoring.
Him and John Collins were going at each other last night.
He's like such a personality too. Like he's not afraid to step back Neither's Maxime Reynaud, though. Max has been kind of feisty, too.
Yeah, they get after it. We finally got some dogs.
I agree.
It's been a while. It was, I don't know what that was, but.
Kitty cat? Have you ever seen that? Yeah, the kid. We're not
You
no
missed
kitty
your
cats.
dog segment?
Yeah.
You missed doing your dog segment.
I do.
Oh, did you have a dog segment?
Yeah, we had a dog.
Oh, I would have loved
We're
that
bringing
segment.
back the dogs.
I love
segment.
the dogs.
Thanks for bringing it up, White. We're bringing back the dogs.
We know kitty cat. We're dogs.
I don't need dogs.
Yeah.
I want kitty cat.
DeMar DeRozan, in all seriousness, did not play much, especially in yesterday's game. I think he played 10 minutes in the first half and then did not play the second half. I'm just wondering, are they starting to shut him down too? Because we've seen it with Westbrook. I don't think Westbrook is coming back this season. So I'm wondering if that's DeMar's choice. I'm sure he'll want to play.
Yeah, because he passed Oscar Robertson.
He
It's
did.
like, okay, thanks. My work is done for this year.
And then it was second half, didn't see him. So
I don't know. I mean, what, 3 games left?
3 games left.
At this point, I don't know that we'll hear any grand, statements from the Kings. It'll probably just be quiet.
Yeah.
It'll just be he's starting, and then the second half, he just, I don't think Adam Silver's got bigger fish to fry than the last 3 games. I mean, honestly, he probably doesn't care about the Kings anymore because the Kings, after winning that game on Friday, hey, the Kings are playing it
He's
pretty
they're
straight
fine.
up. Yeah, he got bigger fish to fry.
So maybe then when he goes and gets his the whole ping pong thing, and maybe he keeps that in the back of his mind and thinks, oh, the Kings deserve this. They deserve this. They've done it the right way.
Sacramento, the city of favors.
Man.
Major League Baseball is going to do them a favor. NBA is going to do them a favor.
Sure, we got a few coming.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're owed a few here and there.
You would think.
You
would think.
What's coming up on the show, guys?
Well, today we're going to play a little Would You Rather for the Sacramento Kings. Go through a number of scenarios here. They have a couple of paths before them.
Okay.
So we've got Would You Rather coming up today, among other things, as we also go over what was a tremendous sports night Friday night here.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, walking out, seeing the streets full of jerseys, and then, again, they win and the fireworks go off, and you see... I don't know if you've seen all the photos, but the beam and the fireworks, it looks so cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a phone,
you took
even
a
if you
photo.
had a flip phone, you probably saw those pictures.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. And that's what it's about. You know, this is why those types of things, that's exactly why they did what they did and brought the A's there for those types of shots, right? And to have the fireworks and the beam and to have everybody going goo goo gaga over it.
And they were. Yeah.
And I've seen the picture multiple times. Frankie, Matt, everybody. And I get it. I get it. Matt said it on the MPG, the MGP, the Matt George podcast.
Isn't that like a BMW?
It's very fast MPG.
Yeah.
Matt said it on the MGP.
Oh, my God.
He could have never imagined, something like that in Sacramento when he was growing up. So I understand why it was such a big deal and why they're not going to kind of break down what that all means.
If it means anything.
If it means anything at
I
all.
love it. I love
In the
it.
city of trees.
Well, thank you guys for all tuning in today. Thank you for Kyle Ledbetter helping me out. Brendan Nunes, our guest today. And all of you, of course, stay tuned for the Drive Guys. They got you for the next 4 hours. That's right. They're not shorting you. 4 hours. It is the Matt and Kayla Show. We'll return tomorrow with Matt George. Have a great afternoon. Peace.